bad guy.
Salute, 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 salute. It's your boy again with Kia Escape back here with another one. This is trying to find a freaking right song and I couldn't freaking find it for, of course, this show. From West Side Gun, of course. Peace, Fly God. As always. Estee Knack. I believe Stove God Cooks is also on this one as well, too. I appreciate each and one of you guys being here. This was Jay Boogie, Julian Tran, Chris Johnson, MH. I hope we get him, but I don't see it happening. It says J Tap. It's gonna be look, I'm gonna get to this. Just give me 2 seconds to tap in. Woo, this beat, man. Because I'm dropping everything. By the way, if you are on Amazon Prime, I implore you guys to go to Amazon Prime. If you mess with Seamless, please go to Amazon Prime and you could get the Seamless, Grubhub Plus, excuse me. Grubhub Plus for a whole year for free. If you are a Amazon Prime member. So again, go to Lord Jesus, Amazon Prime and look up the Grubhub Plus plan. Or just Google it and it'll come up. If you are an Amazon Prime member, get you a whole free year of Grubhub Plus, a whole year of it. By the way, for some reason my chat is not showing up. Hold up, this doesn't make any sense. All right, now it's showing up. All right, apologies for that. So here we are. Suit to everybody, man. Legion Knicks. I appreciate everybody being here. Kerry Cox. Mars Van Gogh, I like that name. It says IQ is tradable. Suit to my guy Latrell. Latrell Sprero's American Dream. Hopefully you and your family are doing well. I know you just had a kid a few months ago. Kerry Cox in the building. Ace of Kings, my guy. Salute my guy. Wheezy in the building, man. That guy always salutes me and supports me on Twitter. Where I have some interesting people who say, your channels are nothing, blah, blah, blah. Look, I appreciate you guys. I think you guys are great. We have times where we have 50 people here, 70 people here, 100 people here, 200 people here. I appreciate it. So, and for the guy who said that on Twitter, no one even likes you on Twitter. But God bless you. Thank you for watching my show. Hopefully you give it a like next time. Let me see. Clarence Duray says, can't overpay for DM. He's a star, not a superstar. The Knicks should not mortgage their future for trading for DM. Minnesota got robbed by Utah, and we can't let that happen to us. Sorry, just had to type one more thing. All right, so let's get to it, man. Yes. So according to reports, the the Utah Jazz are now listening to offers or listening to inquiries regarding Donovan Mitchell, I don't call him a superstar, but he's a star guard of the Utah Jazz, my son, a.k.a. Goku. A guy I think that's been somewhat maligned because of the team that he's played with, really provides him no offensive help. They kind of disappear in the playoffs. They've been doing it time and time again. But now that obviously the Minnesota Timberwolves have traded for Rudy Gobert and got a package. You're talking about Malik Beasley, Patrick Beverley, Jared Vanderbilt, Leandre Barbosa, Barmaro, Kessler Walker. Then they got, those players by themselves aren't great per se, even though Malik Beasley is a decent scoring two guard. Jared Vanderbilt showed some spurts last year defensively, as well as, crashing boards, cleaning up at the rim. Decent player, but they got Minnesota's 2023, 2025, 2027, and 2029 picks a 2026 first-round swap for Gobert, Mr. Bricklayer Hands Gobert. Now, it seems as if it's been reports here and there. A few weeks ago, maybe a week ago, they were talking about how the New York Knicks, that they don't, the package, the asking price may be too much. And again, right now, what you see, hashtag this, it's a cold war between CAA and the Knicks and CAA and the Utah Jazz. We're gonna see the true metal of each party because you got Danny Ainge, who he gets, if it's a trade, he's gonna squeeze out as much value as possible. When you look at that team, the Boston Celtics, you got to give it to Danny Ainge. He fleeced. Now, granted, he was working with one of the worst GMs of all time that no one talks about, Billy King, when he was with the Brooklyn Nets. It's amazing how the Knicks get killed, and I've never heard ESPN bash Billy King's one of the worst GMs of any sport of all time. But whatever. Let me set up the StreamYard. Hold up, guys. For anybody that wants to go in the StreamYard, I'm gonna set that up. But right now, he's gonna see a cold war. You're gonna see reports coming out from here and there. Reports from credited people. One of them guys like Ian Begley came out today and said that the New York Knicks do not want to give up R.J. Barrett in this trade package. And this is no slight at Ian Begley, because I said this on Twitter, and I was talking about him trying to allude to him getting bad information, or not say bad, but disinformation. That make misinformation, whatever. And people came, oh, you're dissing. I'm like, shut up. Ian Begley, because he's accredited, right? He's probably talking to people connected. But again, this is Cold War, KGB. Two different sides are saying different things to try to posture themselves in the media, to give out feelers. It's a war right now between these two sides, right? So we will see, because look, Donovan Mitchell, what they're doing in Utah, they have to clean up that team. I'm not sure if Utah is one of the oldest teams in the league, but they had guys like freaking like Mike Conley, who's what, 36. Let me see. Let me just make sure. Utah Jazz roster. They probably are one of the oldest rosters in the league, but let me make sure before people kill me on that one. And apologies, guys. I have like phlegm. I was sleeping right next to the freaking air conditioner, and I'm hot, but now I got like a mini cold or some BS. So yeah, Rudy Gay, 35, Mike Conley, 34. They traded Joe Ingles. They still got Bojan Bogdanovic. Maybe they're not the oldest. Maybe not even the top 5, one of the oldest. But Bojan Bogdanovic, who hasn't been the same since that injury he got after being with the Pacers. Was it AC? No, was it ACL? No. What the hell was it? Bojan. Scheiße. My mic just shocked the crap out of me. Bogdanovic injury. Was it ACL? He had, what the hell was the injury? Anyway, he had an injury. Then you have Hassan Whiteside, 32. Greg Monroe. Is he still? I don't think he's on the team anymore. Rudy Gobert got traded. Jordan Clarkson is 29, which is interesting. I thought he was younger than that. Royce O'Neal got traded. Daniel House, is he even there anymore? I don't think so. Yeah, but that's a team that also is lacking talent. We're talking about when you saw them in the playoffs, bro. When people want to get on Donovan Mitchell about he's not playing defense, he had to do everything on offense for that team because he had no other options. He had no other options on that team. You know what I'm saying? So that team, they have to blow it up. There's no way you can sit there and say in the next few years or next year or so we can retool up and, this team with Malik Beasley and Jared Vanderbilt, as solid as they may be as role players, there's no way in hell you look at that team and say this team is going to do better than the previous teams that we had with Rudy. And now you don't have Rudy Gobert there, so your defense is going to drop precipitously compared to what you had before. So that is a team, they got to get as much value. And I think, me personally, and what some other teams doing, like the Spurs, they looking at that Wembanyama scoop. They looking at that draft next year, bro. By the way, Utah Jazz first round picks. They definitely, obviously, the Minnesota trade helps them out big time. But I just want to look at their So yeah, now because of that trade, now in total they got 3 2023 first round picks. But they don't got nothing for 2024. They got 2 for 2020. No, they got 1 for 2020. No, 2 for 2025, 2 for 2026, 2 for 2027. So again, this is probably the best time to try to get rid of a guy like Donovan Mitchell. A lot of posturing in the media between the Knicks and the Jazz through proxy wars regarding, guys like Woj, guys like Ian Beckley, guys who have a lot of credibility, who are getting it from legit people, but are those legit people giving them legit answers? So let me see. Sorry, let me just move on to the next slide. I have so much phlegm. So yeah, Tony Adams came out and talked about how he says the Knicks will quickly try, and I think he believes he's a writer. Is he a writer for The Athletic? He's a writer. I think he's a writer for The Athletic. Tony Jones. He covers the Jazz. He does cover for The Athletic, which, credit for the most part. We have Fred Katz covering the Knicks. He said, according to league sources, the Knicks are trying to quickly put together a package, which I don't believe. See, this thing about it, why would the Knicks try to quickly put a package together? Right now, the Jazz have all the leverage, right? As time progresses, the Knicks, obviously, if it took years to get this done, that would suck. But those picks, which lose more and more protections as years progress, obviously they will have more and more leverage, right? More wear and tear on Donovan Mitchell. Also, if other teams can't make it happen, obviously that'll leave the Knicks as the favorites. Right now, we have a minus 105 odds, which is the best out of any other team to so-called get Donovan Mitchell, according to, obviously, Vegas, a 51% chance to get him. So right now, why the hell would we put a package together quickly? Why would we do that? And we're going to get to this a little bit, but for instance, say we did want to trade, say, a guy like R.J. Barrett. It'd actually behoove us to sign R.J., give you control over him, and then we trade him. Versus he becomes a restricted free agent, and then you have that problem on your hands. Maybe you don't want to sign him. Maybe you do something has to match, blah, blah, blah. Why go if you truly want him, right? We could maybe do a sweetheart deal behind the scenes. Say, hey, we'll sign up we'll try to agree to this. If it works, whatever, blah, blah. But why would we try to put a package together quickly now when you guys have the leverage? That sounds like James Dolan with the whole Melo thing. Even though we waited till the last second, we lost all leverage by doing what basically James Dolan doing what he did, right? And obviously Ian Bagley came out today and said that, we don't want to trade R.J. Barrett. And that's another thing you have to start talking about too. R.J. Barrett's value. Now, again, the front office, they seem to be, according to reports, seems to be very big on R.J. Barrett, re-signing him, given that he is up for an extension this season. I believe we have up to the last day of the last day before the season to do so. Obviously, he's not a max player. To me, he's not yet. No, he's my son, but I got to be objective on R.J. Barrett. He ain't that guy yet. But if you're not trading R.J. Barrett, who the hell are you going to trade now? If they are shooting for Wembanyama, now they have three 2021 draft, 3 2023 draft picks, right? I don't think you could trade up to Wembanyama. Maybe you could trade up to a school. Nick Smith, Khalil Ware has a big year. Maybe you trade up to one of those guys. Package your 2023 picks. Especially if you're tanking and you don't get a number one pick. You know what I'm saying? I think, again, this is going to be the race for Scoot. It's going to be a race for Wembanyama, but Scoot is a great, I'm going to say consolation prize. He's a great number 2 behind here. And they could end up like the OKC Thunder. Control the draft. Next year's draft is expected to be stacked. If you come at that draft with, say, Wembanyama, Dariq Whitehead, and a Khalil Ware, you got your... No, sorry. No, you could do that. You'd be like OKC and have 2 big old centers. You're 4 and 5. Everybody's going big in the league. OKC's going big. And you have Dariq Whitehead. I'm just saying, or you could mix and match, but the Jazz are trying to retool quickly. And my battery just went out. Are you kidding me? Guys, I'm still here. My battery literally goes out very quickly. So let me change my battery really quickly. Apologies. As you can hear the sound going out. Sheesh. And I have it hooked up to the computer too. So guys, please bear with me as I change my battery. This is really annoying. This is a great camera, but the battery sucks. And when you connect it to the computer, it's like it uses up more than it's charging. So please, guys, give me 2 seconds. I apologize for this. This tacky production. Freaking. Shiza, what the hell? This, you gotta be kidding me. Hold on. Oh, I gotta get this battery because now this one doesn't want to fit. Again, guys, I apologize. This is absurd. Why isn't... You have to be kidding me. What is happening? Okay. Again, good camera, but the battery life sucks. I apologize for this, guys. Give me 2 seconds. I'm about to get right back into it. And now I got phlegm coming down my nose. This is a wonderful day. All right. Oh, all right. It's good? All right, cool. Sorry about that, guys. That's too close. All right. Sorry about that. We here? Are we here? Are we here? Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. Halito McCullum, he said, we didn't need to know what's coming out your nose. Yo, Halito, keep talking trash, bro. I gotta see you on the court, man. You talk mad trash, son. I gotta see you, son. Like you doing too much, man. You doing too much, son. Like I know you play with your man, Ishan. He's 6'5" and everything. Like, come on, son. Like y'all not live like that. Like you talk all this trash, bro. You're not live like that. Like we see you, bro. We see. But salute to everybody in the chat, man. Tamika Lou, Corey, Aaron Devon. So my guy said, Gmo, why would we trade RJ for Mitchell? Make it. Bro, I haven't even gotten to the gist of the freaking... I didn't say anything. I'm just saying, my guy, look. New York Knicks fans, let me just tell you something. I love you guys. I have respect for you guys. You guys are probably some of the more knowledgeable fans out there in terms of you know everything that's going on with your team. But y'all are some of the most delusional... Y'all some of the most delusional people I've ever met in my life. If I'm Danny Ainge, now granted, if I want to tank, that's one thing, right? If I'm Danny Ainge, the same, bro, the way he fleeced the Brooklyn, you think he doesn't want to come down with a player that he could possibly build around for the time being? A guy to put fans in them seats in Utah? They're going to ask for RJ Barrett. I didn't say I'm doing it. I'm just telling you what the deal is. If I'm Danny Ainge, I'm not coming out that deal unless you're going to give me your whole future. Like, come on, son. And by the way, my camera's all messed up. See, I had the whole nice angle before. Now it's all, yo, son. Damn, son. Yo, please, Sony, you gotta do better on your batteries, man. This is ridiculous. Suitors stupid videos in the building as well too. John Talento. I'm gonna get right back into this whole freaking camera thing. Just messed me up. And Julito said, yeah, okay, all right, yo, son. All right, son. You talking all this trash, but like I said, for some reason the summer does me well. The blood is flowing beautifully and everything because it's hot and stuff. The J is there. So, let me chill. Let me shut up, man. He said, Gmo, you're not balling. Why you have a jersey on? So, yo, look, I can have a jersey on because I got the guns. Oh, hold on. I got to show my left. I got the guns. What do you like? That's Big Papa Pump right there, son. I just did 210 push-ups today. Like, what are we talking about here, bro? Like, what are we talking about? I told y'all the jumper is back, son. Like, you know, I'm gonna try to film the next time I play indoor hoops. Like this, the jumper yesterday was disgusting. The time before that was okay. Last week Tuesday, have mercy on y'all souls. I'm looking like mid 2010s Gmos. Like, son, that was a deadly time shooting wise. But whatever, man. I ain't gonna say anything, man. It's okay, man. But Suitor, by the way, Suitor Halito McCullum, man. I hate doing this because he's a very humble dude, but it's the name in front of it. But very, very humble dude. Please go follow him on Twitter. Oh, by the way, I apologize. Please. I know some of you guys aren't on Twitter like that. I do ask that you follow me on Twitter, but please, go follow Julito McCullum, Sean, and Cedric Shine on Twitter. They run KCDA on Twitter. Is a great space, probably the best Knicks spaces on Twitter. Those guys do a great job. Typically after games, they cover the Knicks. But during the summer, they've been killing it. So please go follow Julito McCullum, Ishawn, or and Ishawn's a dude with the dreads that y'all saw in the Knicks games, the Knicks Summer League games. The tall dude talking trash to Richard Jefferson, and then Cedric Shine. They run KCDA. Please go follow them on Twitter and support their channel, support their platform, and go follow them. Give them a likes and all that stuff. Show them some love. Oh, excuse me. I got freaking phlegm all in my system, man. But anyway, so let's move on from this, man. Look, y'all have to start thinking about this. We have the picks. We have the young players well, too. And I've seen stuff from Knicks players saying, we're not going to trade OB and IQ. Oh, my gosh. Yo, look, I'm not even trying to hate on them kids, bro. Would y'all rather – let me ask you this. If we drafted Nashawn Highland and IQ was traded, do you think we'd miss a beat? If we drafted Desmond Bane over IQ, do we probably get similar value, even though it's different positions? But good enough value to say, okay, I didn't have to – I'm not even trying to ish on IQ. I like IQ, but you have to start looking at some of these young kids and say, hey, we got to start moving on from some of these people. Y'all the same other effers who said y'all wouldn't trade – not y'all, but a lot of y'all said y'all wouldn't trade Frank Ntilikina for AD. Hall of Fame talent, Frank Ntilikina. NBA champion, Frank Ntilikina. Y'all love y'all kids too much. Trust me. It's just like in real life. A lot of y'all kids ain't special. like the GOAT Patrice O'Neal said, when the kids become important. But that's a joke for another day. But we got to start, again, using the young players we have on this team. We're trying to get a Donovan Mitchell. A guy who put 25 points last year, 35% from three, which is average, 44% from the field. But again, he's playing on a team that's absolute trash. 2 years before that, I believe in the bubble, what did he average? Did he average 30-some points that year in the bubble? And we're talking about, let me make sure. No, he didn't average 30. My bad. Oh, my bad. In the playoffs, he did. 36.3 points in the playoffs. But we're talking about a 3-time All-Star. Donovan Mitchell, an elite guard. He may not be a superstar. He's not. But we're talking about an elite guard in the league. Y'all not going to – we're not going to use some of these young players, weaponize some of these young players to get him? Yeah, man. I've been trying to make this a short stream, man, because I got some other stuff to do for work. But y'all guys got to be out of your mind. So again, my son, Goku, y'all already know the vibe, son. Y'all already know what he did in that bubble, man, versus Jamal Murray and the Denver Nuggets. Again, we're talking about a 3-time All-Star. We're talking about a guy who actually wants to be here. Now, Suitor Jalen Brunson want to be as well, too, which is a beautiful thing. Obviously, CAA Mafia definitely helps out. But we're talking about a guy in Donovan Mitchell who literally teases us to be over here. And we're not going to, and we're talking about an elite guard. We don't have elite players on this team. I like RJ Barrett. He's not elite. Julius Randle, no. Jalen Brunson's not elite. Now, obviously having 2 6'1" guys probably hurts in your backcourt, but you're telling me we're not going to trade a few young players for Donovan Mitchell? I'm not even talking about RJ. I'm talking about Obi, IQ, Grimes. Like, bro, high floor guys, but you trade high floor guys and you draft another high floor guy. Y'all just see my son Bryce McGowan today in the second round? Y'all see Jalen Hardy, even though he struggled the past 2 games. In that first game, 28 points. I could draft talented players as long as I got a good scouting department. And you tell me I can't trade IQ because you love them? Like Cameron said, you love her? You cuff her? That's your girl? That's your world? Oh, you guys is bugged out, man. So, again, some developments. That interesting. Obviously, Utah Jazz are geared for a full rebuild. Like I said, Utah Jazz. They also traded away Eric Pascal and Royce O'Neal. They traded Royce O'Neal for a first. Danny Ainge is a poker player. You're not getting past Danny Ainge without giving to RJ Barrett, but whatever. And they didn't sign Johnny Bryant, which is interesting because every other team out there, Steve Nash, who's not a good coach, Tyronn Lue, with the Clippers, they always hire, and Tyronn Lue is a good coach. I'll give him that. I don't think he's as great as some people say, but he's a good coach. I'll give him that. When you try to appease your star player, you typically hire the proxy, or you hire the puppet coach to make him happy. The fact that they didn't bring in a guy like Johnny Bryant, who has experience with him, who's been in Utah. They bringing in Will Hardy, who is a smart basketball mind from the Spurs. Worked with Udoka in Boston. But we talking about a Will Hardy type versus a Johnny Bryant, who, bro. Your man Donovan Mitchell is good as gone. Now, obviously, the Knicks are looking to pair Brunson with another star player. Again, there have been reports that they looking to possibly trade Randall. They like RJ, but you need another legit star. That's why I wanted DeJounte Murray badly. And not to, again, I swear on my life, this is not me killing no Ian Bagley. So, salute to Ian Bagley. Of course, if you don't follow him, follow him. He's on freaking SNY all the damn time. He's a freaking a star in New York. But, I mean, he, just to talk about the how these guys are moving, and it might be from the Knicks, where Ian Bagley said the Knicks expressed interest in trading for DeJounte Murray. Then it came out the Knicks weren't even talking to the Spurs about DeJounte Murray. And I'm not saying Ian Bagley's lying whatsoever. I'm saying that you got the CAA Knicks Mafia, KGB agents hard at work with disinformation and putting out a whole bunch of stuff that may not be true. That's what I'm saying. Guys, keep your eyes open. Don't fall for any of these reports. We have to analyze this stuff carefully, bro. This is going to be, we're talking about Danny Ainge Wonder. I want to call him, he is grimy, but he's going to get his value versus CAA and the Knicks and CAA, Leon Rose. This might be one of the most interesting proxy wars in the NBA for some time, because everybody knows what each other wants, but no one's who's gonna blink first. So keep your eyes on that. Again, Knicks have significant draft capital. Obviously, it was 2023 first that we've acquired. 2023 and 2025, is it? We have five 2023 first. Lord Jesus. Obviously, two of them protected. No, three of them protected. We have Dallas. I'm forgetting the ones that we traded for during the draft. Then we have one 2024, two 2025s, one 2026, one 2027, one 2028. And 2029, I messed up the typing there, but it's all first I'm talking about. We have young players, like I said, on team-friendly deals. Of course, the font cuts off. Like Reddish, who's going to be a restricted free agent this upcoming year. Grimes on a rookie contract. Toppin's still on a rookie contract. Quickly still on a rookie contract. Derrick Rose is expiring. McBride and Sims. Again, high-floor players. Guys that definitely entice the Utah Jazz. And, of course, R.J. Barrett. I just have to put it out there. And I said, conflicting reports make it seem as if the Knicks are trying to push the asking price down. Again, it seems as if the Knicks are interested, but the Jazz got to come down. It's like, and this is opposite of what we did with the Melo. Like, it seems as if we're going to push to the last. But I guess the Melo thing came out, but we kind of messed up leverage. We didn't go exactly to the last second, but we kind of messed up leverage with the Melo deal because Dolan's an idiot. And so when you look at some of the other teams, this is gonna be interesting because there are a few teams that are in for Donovan Mitchell. Obviously the Knicks, but the Heat. Now the Heat's draft capital is weak. It's very weak compared to us, at least. They got Hero, they got Robinson, they got my son Jovic. Jovic is who's a head case, but him being in Utah might actually help him out because I heard some things about him being in my. You know what I'm saying? And another guy like Yurt7 worked his way up through summer leagues and. Last season, he had some nice contributions. But that versus a Knicks capital, now, I would be scared out of my mind if Donovan Mitchell went to the Heat. Donovan Mitchell, Butler, I'm assuming maybe they keep Bam. Yes. Oh, no, hold on. Bam is still in a rookie max. Bam is still in a rookie max, so they'd have to. Hold on. Bam is on a rookie max. Let me just make sure, because you can't make that trade then. So Bam would have to go. because you cannot have two players. No. You could do it. You could do it because Bam started out with the Heat. The rule is that you can't have two players traded to your team that are still that was signed on a rookie max. So you can make it happen. And Nick G, I'm gonna let you in 2 seconds. Let me just finish through this. But yeah, you can't have two players traded to your team on rookie maxes. So yeah, we have the Heat. Damn, Heat with Donovan Mitchell, Bam, and Jimmy Butler. Is that a championship team? That could be. Another scary team. Now, this is the one that you have to trade Simmons because Simmons is still on a rookie contract. Damn, I'm actually scared, man. Donovan Mitchell with better improved defense because obviously being with the Jazz, who his defensive numbers have been dropping. His defensive field goal percentage, that differential's been getting hurt since his second year, it hasn't been a negative, which is not good. And obviously last year he struggled, had essentially tried to do too much on offense, or try to carry the team on offense because you have freaking Gobert who sucked, and the only guy who could really help him out was Clarkson off the bench. That Heat team would be scary, but that draft capital sucks. But again, the Jazz have a lot of first rounds in a 2023 pick. Is this a relationship thing? Would they trade Donovan Mitchell to the Heat to spite us and not take our assets? I don't know about all that. Now, y'all know your man Pat Riley is Mafia styles for life. So I don't know, son. I don't think that'll happen. I think we have the best trade package, and Ainge is trying to get value. I don't know if he's part of that Mafia life. He's out there. The Mormon families out there. They didn't really care about Mafia. They just build. They procreate and build their own mafias. That doesn't make sense. But anyway, against the Brooklyn Nets, the Nets would have to trade Ben Simmons because you can't have two players signed to a rookie max on the same team. They do have two 2023 firsts, one 2027 first, one 2028 first, one 2029 first. That's just not enough. Young players, obviously, Kessler Edwards, Cam Thomas. You got your man Darion Sharp. You got, I think he's a free agent this year. Nick Claxton. They wouldn't want Kyrie or KD. They're trying to, but Ben Simmons in Utah wouldn't have the media pressure on him. Could actually shoot his jump shot. It might be best for his career. And Donovan Mitchell in Brooklyn would scare the crap out of me. Now, he wants to be a Knicks fan. Let's be honest. No one cares about no damn Mets. Sorry. We all care about the Mets. No one cares about the Nets. Donovan Mitchell. So he's making, 32 this year? 32, 33 or something like that? Mid-30s, something like that? Nah, you can't. Because Donovan, Kyrie, and KD? That is a scary team. Because you have three guys who control the ball, who can score and attack. Oof. Their defense would suck. But you have three legit ball handlers in that lineup. They're a little undersized because you have Kyrie and Donovan. Kyrie's like 6. He's really like 6'2". He's trying to say 6'3". He's not. And KD. Donovan Mitchell's like 6'1". That's another scary team. But I just don't think they have enough assets. The Hornets are another team. You got Gordon Hayward, who will be expiring because he has 2 more years on his contract. That's a $40 million hold on a contract or amount on the contract. You have Oubre, who will be expiring. Rozier, they could trade. I believe he just got re-signed last year. He has 3 more years, 3 or 2 more years. You have James Bouknight. Now James Bouknight, they may not want Bouknight. Something has happened with Bouknight through the grapevine. I'm not gonna say the source, or whatever, but it's alleged that Bouknight did something to injure himself. His stock has fallen down precipitously in Charlotte. I don't know what's happened to him. Borrego didn't like him, and now he hurt himself, and it may be self-inflicted. And people say, through the grapevine, people say he effed up. I don't know what's wrong with your man Bouknight, but if he can get it together and play on the court, he would be a dangerous asset in Utah. Maybe get his head straight playing all the way out there with the Mormons. And the Latter-day Saints. They do have one 2023 first round, one 2024 first round, one 2025 first round, one 2026, one 27, 28, and 29. So again, the draft capital is not crazy. This isn't the sexiest because you're putting the hold on me. Now, granted, I could probably trade your man Hayward for a player if I want to create a package to get maybe with an SGA, would the Jazz trade for an SGA? OKC maybe flip, maybe a 3-team trade to try to get Hayward. I'm just thinking this on the fly. This is my math is not mathing probably, but I'm just thinking because they have enough capital to eat in that 2023 draft. So could they weaponize it to get a star player? Because you're still gonna need a star player, or you're gonna need a player regardless. The Jazz get HJ now. OKC and Jazz are probably not gonna do business with each other. I'm just thinking theoretically, would they trade for SGA, draft the Wembayama? I'm just thinking out loud. I'm just thinking out loud because the Hayward contract would suck, but it'd be expiring next year, and that's a big old piece of real estate. Because he signed what was it? 124. 124. Let me make sure before the nerds kill me. Gordon Hayward contract. Yeah, it was a 4-year 120. Yeah, so he's making 30 this year, 31 next year. A sleeper team I was thinking about, the New Orleans Pelicans. Now, hear me out. The thing that happened last year was beautiful, you know. Everybody, oh yeah, we made the play-in and all that stuff. We almost got the Suns and that crap. It's beautiful. But let's be honest. Zion is on borrowed time. Ingram ain't getting any younger. CJ McCollum ain't getting any younger. I think he's what, 31, 30, 31, 32, something like that, 31. And he's a good player. You have to look at this long term. You have a team that has a glut here and there. You got Trey Murphy. You got Herb Jones. But you got to think about it this way. We have to maximize what we have in Zion. Can we get a Donovan Mitchell? You put Donovan Mitchell, Brandon Ingram, and Zion Williamson on one team. Could you make noise in the West with those three? Now, granted, I like CJ McCollum a lot. I don't care what no one says. He's not Donovan Mitchell. He's not Donovan Mitchell to me. And that team would have enough defensive play. Now, granted, Herb Jones, Trey Murphy, you could keep one of those guys, especially, say, Herb Jones. They probably have to trade Dyson Daniels. EJ Liddell, they probably have to trade off as well, too. But they have the draft capital. 3 2023 first, 2 2023 first, 3 2024 first, 2 2025 first, 1 2026, 2 2027, 1 2028, 1 2029. I'm just saying, you gotta consider Pelicans. They could be a sleeper. Now, that whole feel good stuff, that's beautiful. But if I get closer to a championship and maximize what I have in Zion with a legit ball handler and Donovan and have Brandon Ingram as my wing, I have answers in three important parts of my floor. I'm just saying, watch out for the Pelicans. And another team, the 76ers, I don't think 76ers would do this. Maxey, Tybalt, Harris, 2024 first, 26, 27, 28, 29. Obviously, 2023 is missing. Maxey, I think, is a good player, but Donovan Mitchell would probably take him over the top. I think Harden's kind of slowing down. Embiid, again, he's another guy on borrowed time. You make a run to East with Embiid, Harden, and Donovan Mitchell. That's a scary three. And I like Maxey, but you have a three-headed monster in those three guys. That, again, I'd watch out for this. The draft capital kind of sucks. But yeah, these three, I think the Pelicans probably pose the biggest risk because they have the draft capital. They have the young players to give off. Dyson Daniels in Utah Jazz, with his freaking, very north to south monotone type of styles. Like CJ McCollum, who I believe is a free agent in 2024. You could re-sign him for a few more years and build and kind of so-called build around, but still draft a Wembayama. At least have some semblance of a framework of a team where you have a solid veteran in CJ McCollum, would probably thrive in Utah. You have Wembayama. Then you say you have a freaking Dariq Whitehead or something like that. Just say, and then you have Dyson Daniels. I'm just guys, I'm just putting it out there. Let me move on because people are gonna get mad at me. I didn't let him in the StreamYard. Guys, I'm just trying to go this very quickly. So some positive negatives, man, before I get to the StreamYard. So look at number one option. Donovan Mitchell would definitely be that in New York. Jalen Brunson I think he can be a gravity player relative to what we have, but he's a legit number one player. We're talking about a guy, dribble drive, kick outs. We're talking about a guy who could attack the bat. He'd be our most explosive player, our most dynamic player, and he'd probably have more offensive help than he did in Utah. So his game wouldn't look as pressed as it was. We have a closer. He'd be perfect in New York. And you know what? Sins of the father. We should have drafted him, but we had dumb-ass Phil Jack. Do you understand how much bad decisions by a front office could set you back? Think about it. You could have had Donovan Mitchell here. When Rick Pitino was telling us, yo, draft him, we probably should have listened. I'm just saying, we probably would not be in this mess now. Obviously, we wouldn't, but whatever. First star in New York City since Melo. Again, we have not really been able to bring anybody in since Melo. Even while Melo was here, really haven't been able to bring anybody homegrown. The guy cannot stop feeding to rub it in our faces that he wants to be in New York. He's a diehard Met fan. Suits about Mets who won 7-3 today. You know what I'm saying? Mets right now. Beautiful right now. But y'all Yankee fans. Oof. Johnny Bryant obviously would have a path to being a head coach. For all the people that want Tom Thibodeau out, even though I'm not crazy about kicking out Tom Thibodeau. I think he's building a foundation. I know people hate him. But again, compared to... He does a lot of things that other coaches do. I know people hate Tom Thibodeau, but Johnny Bryant would definitely have the path to the head coach position. For the people that want that, a lot of people swear by him. And Johnny Bryant was very instrumental in Donovan Mitchell's development. Taught him a lot of intricate things on the court, how to get to spots, where to be in transition plays. Taught him a lot of stuff. So, again, that is beautiful. Let's see when he becomes a head coach if is still beautiful. But for the people that want him there, if you can keep R.J. Barrett, Donovan Mitchell, R.J. Barrett, Jalen Brunson. Now, granted, your two guards would definitely be a little bit undersized. The whole league is going big. OKC is going big. Freaking Toronto Raptors going big. And for people that think that Toronto Raptors are interested, no, because Masai Ujiri basically said that he wants two-way players, guys who, and also look who he's drafting. He's drafting size on that team. Pause. But R.J. Barrett, Jalen Brunson, and Donovan Mitchell, I think would be a very interesting trio in New York. I'm not sure where they'd be in terms of what you rank in the East, but that would be a problem night in, night out. You have two smart-headed guards. You have a dynamic guard in Jalen Brunson, a really smart guy in high IQ, probably some of the best footwork in the league in Jalen Brunson. R.J. Barrett's developing, a guy who could play off the ball. I think he'd do a lot better with actual guard play in those two. Elite guard in the East, like I said, in Donovan Mitchell. Clear directions organization would legitimize the CAA mafia build and definitely help attract stars. Now, I'll say this. Look, Jalen Brunson, I think, was probably always going to come here. CAA definitely helps out. But if you could pull a Donovan Mitchell and get a team that could at least be a second round threat, you would attract some stars in New York because Jalen Brunson is probably the first. He did the Tracy McGrady, right? He wanted to show that he could be by himself by itself and play in a market, move away from winning, move away from even decent money in Dallas and say, I'm gonna try to build something. He's Tracy McGrady right now, right? If they could build a foundation here in New York, you could attract some other stars, and that's what New York should be. I mean, the Mecca, all that stuff is kind of dead because we don't have the players. But if you could pull a Donovan Mitchell, he'll definitely bring some better players to New York. Negatives, though. If Randall's kept, Randall's not convincing option next to Donovan Mitchell and Brunson. I don't give a damn. That's not winning you jack-ish. I know people, Randall's all NBA season, he don't got it here, bro. That's not convincing me at all. I don't believe in Randall. Small backcourt, like I said, both guys 6'1". When you got teams like OKC who got two Jalen Williams, you got freaking Chet, you got Pokasevsky playing point guard at times, you got Josh Giddey playing point guard at times. We be going backwards. We will be going backwards somewhat with two 6'1" guards in our backcourt. That might spell disaster, decline defense. Like I said, his defensive field goal percentage has been going down. Again, I think it's that he's pressing a little bit. Because when he came from Louisville, he was a high energy, he's a decent defender. He wasn't seen as like this bad defender. It's just he has to do so much in offense. I mean, Bojan Bogdanovic fell asleep. Gobert got brick hands. Like, what help did he have? Royce O'Neal can't hit shots like that. Excuse me, I got freaking phlegm. Also, how many picks you giving up? Now, I'm hearing about 8 draft picks. Now, granted, those 3 draft picks, those protecteds that we got, definitely could sell those off. But we might not have no picks in, 2023? Because we give up our own, then the Dallases, and then the other protected one. They're talking about possibly 8 first-round picks giving up for Donovan Mitchell. Is he worth that? I like Donovan Mitchell. He ain't worth no damn 8 first-round picks. you want to talk about swaps or whatever, maybe, but he ain't worth no damn 8 first-round picks. I'd rather this team try to see what we have in guys like RJ, Brunson, Cam. Try to trade for Randall and Fournier. I still want Grimes starting. I'm still going to work on a video on that, but 8 first-round picks for Donovan Mitchell, as much as I like him, I don't think that's the business. And is Donovan Mitchell actually positioned need with that point guard position? I think our biggest need in terms of we really need to see what we have is really our that 3. That's why Cam is so important this season. Even though I think he probably coming off the bench, I think it's so important to see what we have in Cam. Because once you get rid of guys like Fournier, now you can toy around with saying, okay, is it Grimes? Should we go with a Grimes RJ combo, or we should go with an RJ Cam combo? And either one of those other guys might be better off come off the bench. But we need to see what we have in Cam Reddish. Because, again, Cam Reddish is a guy that he has all the talent in the world, but he has to put it all together. And that's a guy that he could easily be a 17 to 20 point a night type of score. He has that talent, or he may be a guy that we might look and say, hey, we need to trade this guy off. But at best, you might come out with an answer at your 3 position for years to come. A guy who could also play a little bit small ball forward, could defend at a high level. I think when he's engaged like he was last year for the Knicks, and a guy that could do it all on offense. So, another one, 70% of the cap, and of course I have a typo, or the O and the F are split off. 70% of the cap is tied to Brunson, Mitch, and Randall. I'm going to say Randall or RJ. Right? Let me actually change this. Sorry. Before somebody kills me. Oh, you said Randall? Shut up. But as much as I like Donovan Mitchell, man, are you okay with your cap being tied to so-called your team for years to come? Because I think Donovan Mitchell's a free agent 2026, Brunson next 4 years, RJ most likely be signed a 4-year deal. So you're stuck with that squad. It changed it by itself. Thank God. All right, so let me let some guys from the StreamYard. They've been waiting, and actually I could probably also blow my nose because I'm freaking dying over here. Give me 2 seconds to add you guys. Why does OBS do this to me? But yeah, I'm seeing trade packages of RJ, IQ. I saw Grimes. I'm seeing 8 first rounders. I saw one scenario with 11 first rounders. I'm like, all right, you guys are doing a little bit too much, bro. Like, Donovan Mitchell's not that guy, but he will elevate us in the East, and I think that this organization, I don't really think they care. So they're not big on this organic build. I think they want to get the stars here, get surrounded players, and win, go from there. And in some regards, look, I think it should be a decent blend of it. But they're trying to get stars here. They had CAA on their resume for a reason. So let me let in some guys from the back. Pause. They had CAA on their resume for a reason. So let me let in some guys from the back. Pause. I got logically Knicks with the whole thing on right now. Let me transition. Salute. Can you guys hear me? You guys can talk if you want to.
Yeah, I hear you. God damn.
Oh, man. So, all right, talk to me, man. Talk to me. How do you guys feel about Donovan Mitchell? The rumors that is the Knicks are interested, but they don't like the asking price. How do you feel about the so-called trade packages out there? Do you think this is the right time to strike? Talk to me as I freaking blow my nose. Pause. Just give me like 2 seconds, but please talk.
I'm gonna let Big Bubba run on this one. I want to hear Big Bubba. He's the play the young guys guy. So
First of all, what's going on, Nick? How you doing, bro?
Salute.
Hope the baby's good, the wifey good. Hey, wait a minute. Hold on. I ain't gonna let you fly. How you just pull a baby out of that? That was you know what's crazy, bro? You was waiting. I think you was waiting for me to say that so you could do that.
Yeah. My son is at grandma's house, so it's me and the baby girl, man.
Oh, okay. Well, what up, little mama? So for me, honestly, That threw me off. I wasn't expecting that. I swear to God, that's funny. No. So for me, honestly, I'm very big on the not getting Donovan Mitchell. I'm perfectly fine with that. I just feel like for me, not. What happened?
Go ahead. My camera
sorry.
just went crazy. I needed to pull up the chat.
Oh no, you're good. No, for me, it's just about I want to see what the squad can do. I feel like right now we on paper, I know we didn't play yet. I feel like we have a really good balanced team right now so far for the Knicks from what I see. Of course, we got to see about the shooting and everything like that. But I like Brunson. I believe it's going to be Grimes starting shooting guard and RJ at the 3. Randall, hopefully, if his head's right, and Mitch. And then I feel like we have a very great secondary. I feel like we got a great bench unit. A lot of players right now. We got right now. What I got projected, they got Cam Reddish sitting out. He's looking out. He's looking out right now versus the second squad. So that's a good problem to have. I just think this team here can be potentially, if everything goes right, we could be a top 16 in this team because I think we have the depth. I think the first unit will play pretty well with us, and I think just giving up Donovan again. You're not. The good thing with this is that you're not going to be truly gutting your roster, but I don't think you're going to have the secondary for the second unit that you would have if you didn't get Donovan. And I'm just not the biggest fan of 2 6'1" guards. I know everybody keeps talking about the Raptors with Van Fleet and Kyle Lowry. When I'm sorry, Kyle Lowry is a good defender. Van Fleet was a decent defender, and honestly, they won a championship because the Warriors were hurt. You know what I mean? So, I know people are going to use that argument to say that 2 6'1" guards can do something, but when you have teams like the Celtics, teams like the Milwaukee Bucks, and teams like the Miami Heat, those teams just to me are just God. Tamika's going to kill me. They're very long and they're big and they're very switchable. So I'm sorry, Tamika, I failed you, but these are big teams, and these teams can adjust. And I just don't. What I want the Knicks to be, I just don't think they can be there with those kind of teams waiting in the East. When you have 2 6'1" guards, and we've seen already with Donovan that his defense isn't good in the playoffs, even though he'd be a great offensive beast. It's just it's just a lot for me. So that's why I stand with Donovan.
I think the 6'1" guard thing is kind of overrated. Just honestly putting it out there. I often go back to what guys are coming out the draft and how they either improve or digress. In the NBA, specifically to Donovan, I think he is capable of playing good defense. He's actually a 6'10" wingspan.
No, I know about the 6'10". The 6'10" wingspan. I know it does. For me, I agree with you that because 6'10" wingspan does kind of eliminate a few. Golly, sorry, Tamika, a few inches off of him.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna make fun on that one.
I can't. Wow. Tamika's just gonna kill me tonight. But
inches. Wow. Go ahead. Sorry.
I know, bro. I know. I'll accept that one.
That's why he's called Big Bubba, man.
Hey, wow.
Oh man,
yowzers.
No, but I know, bro. Yo, Guillermo, stop me. Guillermo, the kid.
I'm hyped that Tamika's here.
At the lunch table, that's
I'm
like, yo, you don't talk to me like that, bro? Nah, but no, but yeah, the wingspan does help with that, with his height. It's just at the same time, man. I don't know. I'm just not comfortable with the 6'1", because I'm thinking about the playoffs. If we get Donovan Mitchell, I'm thinking playoffs. I'm thinking how far can we go, and it's just like for me, it's just. When you're like the Bucks are not going anywhere. Giannis signed a max extension. He's not going until they're going to be perennial playoff. No, they're playoff championship teams. They're looking for Eastern. They're looking for championships or better. The Celtics they got a taste of the finals. They want to go back. And then Miami Heat are always going to be there. And then you could also, if you want, throw in the Sixers. And then potentially we don't know what's going on with the Nets. But these teams are, godly. I'm getting killed today. These teams are pretty big. So it is, I'm felling today. Tamika, just kill me for the rest of the month.
Just swallow it, man.
I know. I know. But these teams are just. They
wait, hold on. Did you?
Yo, I can't do it today, man. I'm just getting killed.
Yo, did you hold on? This is how sick Nick is. He just said, "Yeah, just swallow it." Yo, he did that on purpose.
Who said that?
Nick just said that. He said, "Yeah, just swallow it."
Oh man, yo, that was a good one, Nick. Yo, that was a good one, Nick.
Oh,
That was a good
so
one.
My man
mature,
said,
man.
I know.
Yeah, he's like, yeah.
Nah, Nick got me.
Go
Yo,
ahead,
you know what it
man,
is? Yo,
sure.
Nick is throwing me off with the baby. Nick being a father right now is throwing me off. I need Nick to be.
He's a sick
I'm not
man.
gonna,
Nick tries to
I'm
act
not.
like he's a father. He's mature. No, he's a sick. He's
look. I don't like to cuss around babies, so I'm not gonna cuss. But
You don't understand a word you're saying. So.
well, you know what's funny? I am actually big on that. I don't like cussing around kids.
Okay.
But Nick, you're a sick man, Nick. You're a sick man.
Yo. All right, but go ahead, Isaiah, because I want to ask you guys.
But I'm finished. I'm just saying that's the biggest fear for me, Guillermo and Nick, is that these teams are just
Too big for us. Too big.
I can't.
No, I'm done.
Hey,
No.
man.
All right, man.
It's all right, man. You just keep getting your Knicks and bruises today.
Salute to Nick's vibe, man. Salute to that show, because I know Nick is gonna find a way to.
Well, it's a shirt. You know, I'm making puns, but
Yeah.
I really think the Donovan size thing is kind of overblown. But I think we need to at least understand that, one, we have Tom Thibodeau, and I know people hate him, but Tom Thibodeau finds a way to get his defense to operate. What I really think is the big question mark: who do we give up? As of next season, I think so. This upcoming season, right now, the Jazz have 12 men on the roster, right? They could cut players, they could pick up players, etc., etc. They could play around with the roster a little bit, but the question mark is, okay, they only have one true center on there, Walker Kessler, or whatever his name is.
Yeah,
right?
close enough. Yeah, it's something like that. Walker.
Whatever, he's a big man.
Yep.
They have like Azubuike, but he's nothing to talk about.
Oh,
I was wondering.
They still have Whiteside?
No, I don't think he's on the. They didn't re-sign him because they had made.
Oh, okay.
Where's Whiteside at now? I thought he was playing on the Jazz. He wasn't playing on the Jazz?
Well, yeah, but he was a year-to-year contract thing. They hadn't done any off-season moves yet, and there are very few free agents left, right? So the big question mark is: are they in play for like some type of 3-team trade where they end up with, let's say, and I'm gonna just throw some stuff out there. What's his name? Colin Sexton. CAA client. We could pull some strings and get him to Utah. Send somebody like Cam to the Cavs. You know, something like that. I don't know how it would work out, but the other question mark is: do they want to go with Mitchell Robinson? I think the Will Hardy aspect of this is the big play here. He just got out the finals. The closest player to Robert Williams is Mitch. It has been noted over the past few weeks or months or whatever, Danny Ainge did like Randall in the draft. So, to me, I question, okay, look, Conley is off the books next year, but they don't really have much of a team next year. Mm-hmm. Does Danny Ainge want to go into next season with a bunch of rookies? Because they'll only have like 7 or 8 guys on the roster next year, and they could fill it up with 4 draft picks a la Knicks, right? It really depends on how Danny Ainge wants to get that going. And then not many teams actually get to trade into the top 10, especially with a good draft like next year. Mm-hmm. So the value you would get 10 through 20 is not as high as you'll get 1 through 10. I believe the Washington pick is the most valuable pick we have, because I don't see Washington making it into the playoffs but I do see them being outside of the playoff team. What's his name? Kuzma has to play hard. Bradley Beal, he's hit
Belly
or
Bear,
miss.
yeah, well,
He's always unhealthy.
Belly Bear don't care no more. He got his
Yeah,
money. He do
he
not
got
care.
his money. Yeah, I
Honestly,
really
maybe
feel
my
like he's just
optimism,
cheating people.
I would think it would
And
be
I
the
think,
Pistons though that probably have a better chance of that pick conveying because I think it's 1-18, right? And
well, I don't. I think all of them could convey, but at the same time, I really feel like the Wizards is the most, like it has the quickest value of conveying. If we get if we get Donovan Mitchell, are we in the playoff
Nick,
teams? Are we a playoff team? That's the real question mark,
I
because
think
that
so.
tells you the value of our picks. Because,
Oh, sure.
because like think about it. If the Hornet, what we got, a Detroit pick, we got Detroit, Washington, our pick, and something else, right?
Yeah, the Bucks, right?
Which one of those are the best?
I think to me, I would think it would probably be in terms of valuable now Detroit because I don't see because I think Wizards is 1-15 next year, right? Pistons are
No,
1.
it's 8. It's like 9 through the rest of the draft. Like it's only top 8 protected. The Wizards.
No, right. No. Wizards top 1 through. No, I thought Wizards
no,
was top 1 to
Wizards
15.
is top 1 through. I thought it was 1 through 16.
Yeah, and then Pistons are 1-18. Let me see.
Yes, because yes, no, you're right, Gilmore. Because each year it decreases.
Okay.
Yeah, it declines. So that's why I said like the Pistons because I don't trust the Wizards whatsoever. I think the Pistons, and maybe it's my stupid optimism, just seeing how Cade played, and they put another guy. They have freaking Ivy there. They're not. They're probably again. They were the second worst team in the East, but that's a team that I could see sneaking around the play-ins. And at 118, they could possibly be right outside of that. So that's why I think the Wizards are. So let me just real quick, just so I could tell everybody. Of course I'm on the Athletic. So there's a paywall. Hold on. Yeah. So the Pistons. So the Detroit pick is. Yep, protected 1-18, 2024, 1-13, 2025, 1-11, 2026, 1-9, 2027. Conveys into a second rounder. I think in 2027 or goes back to Detroit. I forgot where it goes. And then 2023, that Washington pick is 1-14 protected in 2023, 1-12 protected 2024, 1-10 protected 2025, and then 1-8 in 2026. So, yeah.
Okay.
That's how it goes.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, and then we have the Milwaukee Bucks pick 2024, 2025 1-4 protected.
Thank you, Nick. Can you hold her head,
Nick
Nick?
wanted to say
Jesus
something. I think
Christ.
Nick wanted to keep going, but
Okay. So, well, the real question is then does even trading all the picks from 2023 make sense for Utah? Like, yeah, getting picks might make the value, but I'm just looking at it from their standpoint. Why would I get so many picks that may end up just be conveying later on or not having the high value as you would?
I still think that even with and they do have a lot of 2023 picks. I think they have like 3 of them already. Utah.
Yeah, but they're still like playoff team picks though.
Right. But I'm still thinking in my head now. I don't think it was going to happen because they probably don't want to trade him to a competitor. But they can still use those picks to trade for a star themselves, to trade for a young player, because they're going to draft a Wemby or whatever whoever they're going to draft next year. They still need other players, because they're not getting anybody in free agency. So they could package those picks to. And I'm just saying in theory. I don't think it's going to happen, but in theory, a guy like SGA who might not even fit anymore OKC, where basically everybody's 6'6" and above, right? Well, outside of like Lou Dort, who they just resigned, but yeah, I could definitely see a team like or a player like SGA go to some other young players. I have to look into maybe who, like you said, who Danny Ainge liked in the draft, but I can see him going for a young star themselves. So and you know how Danny Ainge loves draft capital. You know what happened in Boston, where it was like, all right, what are you going to do with all these picks? So maybe he didn't learn his lesson, or maybe he's gonna go back to hoarding, get his Jalen and his Tatum.
Hey, Gammo, but you know what pisses me off, Gammo?
Go ahead.
The Wolves piss me off so bad, yo.
Why?
Because they set a precedence.
Precedence.
Precedent.
Precedence. Sorry, precedence.
It's okay.
That it. Thank you, Joe. That is very hard to get over, right? Because you did the trade that you did, trading Rudy Gobert for, 4 unprotected first round picks. You set the market to where it's like it's almost you got to do unbelievable stuff now. Like that's to me why everything's been paused with the whole KD thing, and now it's probably going to be paused with the Donovan Mitchell thing because now you're in a spot where it's like, well, now you have to at least. That's the part that's killing me is that you have to at least get 5 picks between either.
Oh, go. I mean, cut you. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. No, you got to get 5 picks between either of these players that are looking to move. Like, you have to get 5 for Donovan, or you have to at least get 5 to 6 for Kevin Durant. If you did it for Rudy, that's where I feel like the Wolves, just they screwed up the market so bad when they traded for Rudy to give up what they gave up. It's messing everybody up and about what you have to give up for these players because no. Donovan Mitchell is not even close to worth 8 round picks. I'm sorry. I don't care how good you believe in them.
And this is why I call it the Cold War. Like, you probably would have to give those picks any. Danny Ainge ain't coming out of this without value. Like, that's what he made his bones about. Like, and granted, he got he left the Boston Celtics, but he built that team. Say what you want, he built that team. He got those, and he just didn't know how to convert those picks into that third superstar. But in Utah, where he has that clean slate, he's not. He was gonna fleece somebody for Donovan Mitchell, or get value for Donovan Mitchell regardless. I just think like there's no. Donovan Mitchell is the guy in Utah. They have to fill up seats. There's no way they come out of this without a young star and some picks or a crap load of picks, so they have a war chest to go into the next few drafts to get their so-called stars and maybe trade for another star. Sorry, Nick, you wanna say something?
But this is where, like, you got to at least look at the front office and look at their track record, too. They always aim for value also. So, like, to me, I don't feel like they've been fleeced or fleeced in any trade so far. Like, they've always tried to one-up or, okay, give me a second-round pick. And the value that the Knicks set is 4 second-round picks equal 1 first-round pick or 3. And we've been collecting a lot. And that's why I was just like, so many people just go doom or gloom with the front office, and you just have to step back and look at some of the track records. I'm pretty sure the part of the Cold War is Leon Rose and company are not going to try to get fleeced. And they don't want to give up.
I hope I didn't say that the Knicks got fleeced in this. I'm just saying that Danny Ainge is looking to get as much value. And that,
I agree. I agree, but that's
I just want you to say Knicks are getting fleeced.
Yeah. No, but you know what it is for me though, Nick?
Right?
Yeah. But Nick, this is the final level though. This is not even the final level. This is the secret boss that you when you beat a game. This is the secret boss, man. Danny Ainge is that good when it comes to these trades.
Yes.
And to me, it's like I don't know. It's just Donovan Mitchell, man. Like I don't know. Maybe I just don't believe that where the Knicks can be with Donovan Mitchell and Jalen Brunson, and let's just say RJ Barrett, I just don't know what that's going to do for you in the East. That's my biggest thing, and I don't want to trade six first round picks to see that. Well, that's my biggest gripe.
Here's the thing, right? So when you got Jalen Brunson, right, it was a start. And again, I don't want to take credit for this, but I can't remember it was Jeremy Coincidence made this point where it's like you're trying to incrementally build up a team, right? Brunson does get you there, but let me again look, RJ Barrett is my guy before someone kills me. But maybe you get up to a point where you build up an RJ, or say Randall's here. I'm just saying theoretically, and then you trade him for that guy. right? You're taking incremental steps with some of these. Now, Donovan Mitchell kind of expedites the process, kind of, those things in hyperdrive. But you're always trying to build up this team. So again, this is not the fight. This team that even if we get Donovan Mitchell, this is not the team. Oh, we're going to a championship. You need a third guy, and that's when you start dipping into the luxury tax and that stuff and blah 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 to get your guy. You maybe become that type of player or that type of team once you get that third star where you're going to the Eastern Conference Finals, you're getting to the finals, and you're sniffing a championship, right? So that's how I think. But let me ask you guys this: if you had to, right, who do you pick in this fight, Danny Ainge or the New York Knicks, the front office, CAA? Who do you think comes out ahead in this battle?
Danny Ainge.
I think it's like a draw.
Oh, stop! No! You can't do that, Nick. Someone's dying. Who's coming? No, you gotta pick. I'm only joking, but don't pick a draw, Nick. Come on. Nick.
No. Let me just at least say why I think a draw, and I could give you a comeback to like the other half.
All right.
The reason why I say it's a draw is so many times we overrate. Like this team got so many picks, and now they're armed to make a trade, right? Ousmane Dieng was traded for what, 3 first-round picks, right? And technically a bad draft. Like, as good as he might be in the future, as much of potential he has, it still technically only produced something in a bad draft. Whereas last year in a good draft, teams couldn't even move up. No one moved up. The Knicks were trying last year to move up. I'm pretty sure like the pick deal could have been done a long time ago. Maybe even give up the 4 second round picks, trade that for the 3 first round picks, and get your guy then. Like, I'm pretty sure like we couldn't even move up in this year's draft with multiple picks offered. Once you're in the top 10, like, you really don't get in the top 10 by giving up outside the top 10 picks. I just think at some point in time we're kind of overrating, and then like the Thunder technically were pressured to get rid of picks because there's no way in hell they could keep all those draft picks. They got too many now, and I feel like that happened to Danny Ainge in Boston too, because the year that they had to draft I can't remember his name, the guy out of Indiana, and they just traded him last year. Like, I think we're kind of overrating the picks. And that's why I say, yeah, it might look good on paper to get all those picks and those many strikes at a draft, but they're still outside the top 10, most of them.
That's true. But again, to have that capital, I just don't think it's going to be you drafting. I think it's also you're going to get your player. You're going to trade for somebody, a young star. You're gonna get. I just don't. I think Danny just learned. And granted, he's in another unfavorable market. Maybe I wonder which is worse, Boston or Utah. It might be
Utah, definitely. Because they have racism, they have all kinds of stuff that work against them. It's definitely
that's true. But you've been to Boston. Now, Boston ain't the 1980s, 1990s Saudi Boston, but Boston ain't fun. Maybe I give Utah because at least Boston's on the East Coast. You could drive, you get away from the even though all these guys are rich, they could freaking get a charter and go someplace easily. But Utah might be slightly worse just because it's like I gotta go home to some place stuck in the mountains, whatever.
Yeah, like your girlfriend might have another boyfriend who's her daddy too.
all right, wow. So this is gonna be the last show on of Legion of Knicks. I'm gonna get kicked off, but guys, look, hit the like, subscribe to the channel. I'm waiting for my guy Ron Miller to join us. Who's Mark? If you want to join us, because I want to get their opinions.
Oh yeah, please.
I will say this: if the Knicks come out ahead now, I don't see how the hell you make this trade without R.J. Barrett being included. Do you think that happens with the New York Knicks, that they give up on R.J. Barrett? And would you do that? I know that you've been on R.J. Barrett, Nick. Is this a time to pull the trigger for a player like R.J. Barrett who's improving, young still? Do you make that trade and get your Donovan Mitchell? Or do you think that it's going to be overall net negative?
It depends on the competition. Like, if See, the thing is, Miami doesn't have the picks to compete with us.
They don't.
Because I think Tyler Hero makes it competitive. Duncan Robinson makes it competitive.
But Nick, I don't think so. My Nick, with that though, well, I was gonna say something, but Utah fans might actually be happy that Tyler Hero is the lead player. But
Exactly.
We know reasons for that. They can actually be happy again.
All right. Can you,
No. I was gonna say, but do you?
Oh man.
With Tyler Hero though, are you really gonna pay him like 5 for 190, and that be the guy that puts fans in the stands? That's the thing that I'm just questioning with Miami is that, yeah, you can trade him, but I think Danny Ainge knows that too. That I think Tyler Hero at best is a starting shooting guard in this league, but I think at his very best he's probably coming off the bench, being that microwave guy, which he was this year.
When I look at, say, Duncan Robinson, no offense, the only thing that's different between him and Fournier is age. Duncan Robinson is streaky and I actually liked him that first year, but watching the past 2 seasons, they benched him, and he's been very inconsistent, reliable. I don't know. I'm just saying. I think we beat the Heat in terms of. That's why I said if they did a deal with the Heat, it has to be a relationship connection because we have the assets and we have the young players. There's just no way you look at the only team that I think beats us are the Pelicans. They have a few young players. Now, granted, they probably have less young players than us, but they also have draft picks as well too. Do they have who would be the star? Well, RJ Barrett would be the so-called young player to build around. With the Pelicans, I guess they wouldn't. I mean, you'd be trading up, say, Trey Murphy. I don't know. RJ Barrett, McCollum. And McCollum's a free agent in 2 years. So you could kind of toy around with that. Draft your Wembanyama, have McCollum to kind of set the table a little bit. Maybe resign him to a deal. Have him as your star player. He have the backcourt all to himself. Obviously, you maybe draft another guy like a Derek or whatever, or a Nick Smith if you get the chance to, whatever. But I think the Pelicans pose the biggest threat. Also, they trade, say, a Dyson Daniels, McCollum, Trey Murphy, and those first they got. Watch out for them because I still think the Pelicans, as much as they like the feel good story last year, they're trying to they got Zion coming back. Zion's on.
I think they're gonna be aggressive.
They're gonna be aggressive. So, and Griffin's still there, right? He's still the GM, right?
Who?
David Griffin.
Yeah.
He's still.
My bad. I'm thinking Landry Fields with Atlanta. My bad. Why am I thinking Landry Fields? My bad.
Well, here's the thing too, Guillermo. Too.
I'm gonna let you guys up, Ronald and Darcy. You guys up. No, go, more, Isaiah.
Yeah. No, yeah. So I do agree with you. I think the Pelicans are going to be aggressive, like you said. They have the first round picks from the Lakers, and to be honest with you, Guillermo, those picks from the Lakers are looking more valuable now because we just don't know what the Lakers are going to be. And again, we clearly seen that this year because of that Laker pick that everybody thought was going to be in the late 20s or the 30, turned into number 8. So they're going to be looking to push. And then again, they just signed Zion to that contract. They got CJ McCollum. They got what's the kid? What's that kid? Herb Jones. They got that the little Spanish kid
Alvarado
from New York. Alvarado. They're trying. I feel like they're trying to push where they think, we're going to make the playoffs this year, and we're going to try to do what we can. So they're going to be aggressive too. So I can see them trading away. CJ McCollum and some picks, maybe Dyson Daniels to go get Donovan Mitchell. I can see them doing that. I mean, that's not bad. If you really want to be honest, trade a couple picks, maybe some of those Laker picks, keep some of yours, probably mix some of yours in there. CJ McCollum and Dyson Daniels, and maybe a Trey Murphy or Herb Jones, and then that's pretty tough.
Okay, let me get to Ron as Darcy's still eating. Darcy, I'll let you finish your food. This guy eating his freaking. He made his freaking steak burnt up trying to. But I was a steak up head growing up, so I used to eat freaking White Castle microwavable burgers, which actually might be better than the actual White Castle burgers. They actually clutch. The White Castle's terrible.
You put some barbecue sauce on them things, man.
The microwave. Guys, I'm telling you. Get the microwavable ones. You'll be fine. The ones from White Castle from the store itself, absolute garbage. Terrible. But let me get to Ron, man. Ron, how you doing?
Salute, Ron. What's good, brother?
And by the way, hit them likes, subscribe to the channel. I got 250 people watching, only 125 likes. I appreciate you guys being here. Hit them like, subscribe to the channel. Suit to my guy Gavin Kelly in the building, a converted Pacers fan. Suit to him. Go ahead, Ron.
Yeah, salute, fellas. Good to see everybody.
Same, bro.
You lost some weight too, my brother. You lost some weight too, my brother.
So say it again.
You lost some weight too, my brother. I see
Hey,
you,
man. Listen, I'm trying to get my life together.
There you go, brother. There you go.
Hey, but I'm just glad that we're in the position to even have a conversation. Because I remember on draft night we was feeling some type of way, and not to say that it can't blow up in our faces, right? Like all these picks may not be worth anything when it's all said and done, but it puts you in the conversation at the moment to figure out like if this is what you really want to do. Because I think, like Nick said, like the question is what's the price? And the good thing is Leon is cheap, man. Like he's constantly seeking to extract value from whatever transaction is taking place. The way that they've operated the draft is how can we extract value, get a guy that we want to contribute in the ways that we want while also getting another pick. The thing for me though is just like I don't liken this to the Carmelo trade possibility for a variety of different reasons, even though a lot of people are like have that concern. My thing is like, what's your path to improvement for this team? Is it a measure of incremental steps and then you go and get it? I mean, you use Donovan Mitchell as a means of it being an incremental step and then you get a better player or find a way to get better players? Or do you develop the team and by saying, hey, we're going to continue to maximize what we have in our guys that can be role players or really good ancillary pieces, and then you go ahead and you try to get that big fish. But over everything, price is going to dictate exactly what approach you use when it comes to Donovan Mitchell.
I'm leaning towards not, because Danny Ainge is he's too smart. We're not getting out of this without shedding some blood. And there's
but time waits for no man, right? So like
that is
all the details are on the table in terms of what the transaction requires at this point, right? The Gobert trade loses muster in terms of it being the precedent for what you got to give up for Mitchell as time goes on. But the question is, who are you competing against? Because that plays a role as well.
The teams that we talked about, I mean, you have the Heat, but I think they're probably the weakest. I think the Pelicans are scary. But I still think that as time goes on, we gain a little bit more leverage with the whole Donovan Mitchell thing. Because, again, if teams aren't coming in, because the report came out today from a guy from the Athletic, Todd Jones, whatever his name is, talking about all the Knicks are trying to quickly put a package together, and it's like, nah, no, we're not. So that might be maybe people from the Jazz trying to put out there, like trying to put out to the media to try to put some pressure on us, and it's not working. Not saying that they're desperate to do it, but again, they didn't hire Donovan Mitchell's Ace Boone Coon and freaking Johnny Bryant. They got rid of two other players. So the more you have Donovan Mitchell in there and it's going nowhere, right, it's going to become more and more evident that you have to trade Donovan Mitchell. So I think they lose a little more leverage as time goes on. It's going to be a looking match between these two. Leon Rose is not going to blink because, like you said, they want to get value. And by the way, I heard there was allegedly, I saw on some Twitter, I'm not sure if this is true, that someone said that Cuban was talking with Leon Rose or to still try to get a sign and trade for.
Nah, that's
dead at this point.
Yeah, that's good.
No, it's more than dead. It's more than dead. I'm saying before was a few days before they came out with the signings, which made it official that we couldn't do the 3-team trade. But
that's what they should have done if they were smart.
But for the fact that Leon Rose is not bowing down, he's not saying bowing down, but he's not helping those guys out. He's getting value for himself. The fact that he's doing that,
right?
Yeah,
I want to say just back to that news piece that you saw that you referenced from the Athletic. The thing that we got to be mindful of too is teams have always tried to use us as leverage, right? Like even though time may be a benefit, they benefit us when it's all said and done. If the notion is that the Knicks are willing to put together a huge package, it may entice another team to say, hey, I got to give this up because this team has these things. Who's to say that that's not what enticed a team like Minnesota to do the foolishness that they did? Because like you said, ain't just who he is. He's looking to extract everything. Well, him and Messiah too. I'm just like, I don't know.
Messiah's another one. I hate that dude.
I like Messiah. I'm sorry. I like Messiah.
Yeah. Messiah's I
know he's out for the Knicks, but I love what he's doing in Toronto. But hold on, let me. Anthony, call again one more time, Anthony. I'm gonna pick up your phone call, but I'm gonna get to Darley because Darley just came in. He hasn't said anything, man. Darley, my guy, how you doing, bro? Can you hear us? Is he muted? Oh, he's muted. Now he's not muted. Salute, Darley. How you doing, bro? Talk to me about Donovan Mitchell. You making this trade? Are you giving up an R.J. Barrett to make this Donovan Mitchell trade?
No RJ.
Wow.
No RJ. Wow. To me, he has that grittiness. He has that dog in him that I think he's going to be able to overcome the mental barriers that it takes to really win a championship, especially trying to go down in the East when you got to go up against teams like Boston. You got to go up against Giannis. So to me, you need somebody that has that mental toughness, brain controls muscle. So I feel like we need players that are mentally tough. Somebody like Marcus Smart. I look at him, look at what he did for the Celtics. I think he really played a pivotal role in just keeping them poised as they went through the playoffs, especially at those away games. Like I think RJ, I see a little bit of that in him. Guys like McBride, I like our young guys. So some of these players I don't want to give up. But I do say this to Knicks fans, man. Every time it comes down to getting the star comes available. No, we don't want to trade this player. We don't want to trade that. Leon Rose came into being the president of the Knicks saying, hey, when the star becomes available, we're going to be aggressive. That's what he said, right? So the star's available. He's a New York native, quote unquote. He's a Knicks fan, born and raised Knicks fan. To me, you make this move because honestly, how many other stars are going to become available that's within our timeline that can fit into our rotation and is not taking up the position of, let's say, R.J. Barrett or Obi Toppin or Mitch? Like, how many stars can we go after that's going to become available in the next 5 years? Unless it's Giannis, that's the only player I would be like, oh, we need to hold out on. Unless it's Giannis, that's it. Who else is really that good that we would be trading for? That's not already maxed out on a $200 million contract. So I would say that's one question. And then this is my thing. If you can get Donovan Mitchell without giving up RJ, let's say you give up 5 to 6 picks. The Knicks still have 11 first-round picks. You still have some assets that you can use to continue to build and progress your team. Let's say the Knicks make it to the second round of the Eastern Conference Finals. You still have some assets and potentially some young guys to give up if you don't get fleeced in that trade. Now, we will get fleeced by Danny, just to call that out. But I think you can find a fair trade that works in the middle of where we feel some pain, but we leave out on the happy end of that knowing we got Donovan Mitchell. But I again, I'm not big on our young guys like that. I like them, but I think Knicks fans are overhyping them, right? You got guys like Quentin Grimes, you got Quickly. These guys are undersized. I'm sorry. The league is getting bigger. You got a lot of teams with length now. You need some forwards, especially if you want to make it past Giannis. You want to make it past Boston that has Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. These guys are 6'7", 6'8", with 7-foot wingspans, man. You need length in your rotation, especially when it comes to playing defense. Smaller players have to work harder on the defensive end. Players with longer length can get more deflections and can close the paint a little bit to keep guys out from penetrating, and it alleviates things off of Mitch. So to me, you keep R.J. Barrett, you move Cam Reddish to the starting lineup, and if you can get Donovan Mitchell while keeping R.J. and Cam, I'm giving up Quickly and Grimes and McBride and some of these other young guys. I'm keeping Cam. I'm sorry. I believe Cam can be a star for the Knicks, and I think he'll look good next to RJ. But if you asking me to pull the trigger on a trade, I'm doing it as long as it's Fournier, maybe Obi, Grimes, and Quickly, and 4 or the 5 unprotected first round picks. I'm sorry that'll hurt us a little bit, but I'm pulling that trigger.
So Randall's going to the bench?
Yeah, because Cam.
So Randall's going to the bench?
Yeah.
No,
I said I mean. Nah, I'm keeping Randall. My starting lineup would be.
Wait, come on now. Wait, come on.
You got a 6-man starting lineup so far.
What you mean?
You got Brunson. You got Mitch, Donovan Mitchell. You got RJ and Cam. And who's your
Randall?
No. My fault.
I'm about to say we keeping all these. Keeping all these players.
That was if we didn't get. Donovan Mitchell.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying like Yeah, if we didn't get him, I want Cam in the starting lineup, move RJ to the 2, start Cam in the 3, and then have Randall and Mitch there. That's what I want if we don't make the move. But if we do make the move, yeah, I'm giving up some of these young guys.
So wait, hold on.
Darcy, real quick. Let me build on Darcy's point for a second, because the question that you asked a little while ago was something I was thinking about as well. In our timeline, right, most of our guys outside of Julius and Fournier are in that 25 and younger range, right? Mm-hmm. For a lot of us, it's just like, all right, well, do we want to cash in our chips for Donovan Mitchell, a dude that's an all-star? Given where we are in terms of like trying to build this team. And I went into NBA.com and looked through the filters. And what we know as Knicks fans is we need a guy that's going to take us over the hump because they perform in clutch time. And so I started looking at some of those clutch numbers. Guys that are hovering above 40% and that are in our timeline include a Morant, who's shooting 42% in the last 5 minutes of the game on 3 attempts. Tatum, 37%, lower than that, right? But on about 3 attempts. Brown, 41%. And all those guys are 25 and younger. Aside from that, you gotta, that's pretty much it. The question becomes, in your timeline, who is available and what's the likelihood that they're going to be available? And I think that adds a little more context to whether or not you take a guy like Donovan Mitchell too, because it's not just that. It's like, all right, if I'm going to incrementally build, is Boston coming off of those guys? Is Morant leaving?
No.
Memphis? Like, that plays a role.
No, he's not leaving. He just signed that extension. Man,
right. Guys, hold on. Because I had Anthony staying here. He's been on the phone for like 5.5 minutes. And thank you for the super chats from Adele Chapman. Says, Charlotte needs a powerful. We need to be involved in that. 1975 Jamrock says, thank you for the $5 super chat. Says, Utah, Phoenix, Indiana, Brooklyn. Indiana gets 8 and Phoenix gets KD. Mitchell gets Mikal Bridges, and Miles Turner to Brooklyn. Utah gets Simmons, Cam Thomas, 5 first-round picks, and 3 swaps. Thank you for the super chats. Isaiah, hold your point. I just want to get to Anthony Collier on the phone, bro. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I got you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, sir. Sorry for keeping on hold, but
Yeah, it's no problem. It's no problem. About the Donovan Mitchell thing, I would love to have Donovan Mitchell on the Knicks if we didn't already sign a point guard. But the fact that we already signed a point guard, that we already signed Jalen Brunson, to have Jalen Brunson at 6 feet 6'1", and then Donovan Mitchell at 6'1", Christ the King would have a bigger backcourt than what the Knicks would have. I mean, and one of your guys was just talking about how the league is getting bigger. Well, that wouldn't help. So how would having 2 6'1" guards that really aren't good defenders help? So even though I would love to have Donovan Mitchell, and it would be great to have him, I just don't see where it helps the Knicks at all, especially on the defensive end. And Tibbs, we already know how he is. So, I'm sure that you could get Donovan Mitchell without having to give up RJ. I'm pretty sure that you could do that. But these guys would have to work a lot harder on defense to make up for the fact that you've got 2 6-foot guards in the backcourt, and I just don't see how that works.
I don't know how it gets done without RJ, man.
Well, with the amount of picks that they have, and then we're talking about Danny Ainge. If it was another GM, I would say that you're right. But because it's Danny Ainge and he loves picks, and the fact that RJ is about to get extended, yeah, Utah would love to have him, but do they really want to spend that money to extend RJ? I don't know if they love him that much. Quentin Grimes, Evan Fournier, maybe somebody else, plus 5 picks, might be able to get that done. I don't know. But, I mean, if you got to give up RJ to get another 6'1" guard, I just don't see where that makes too much sense. Not to me, anyway. It's great, to get the fans and the ratings and all of that, but who are we beating with 2 6-foot guards?
You're gonna struggle. I mean, we don't have the bigs like the Raptors did. We have I don't know what you would call. I don't know if you call them a big like that, but the length like they had with Pascal and Kawhi and whatnot. So I mean, we're definitely gonna struggle defensively. But to Nick's point, Tom Thibodeau, and I have to say this. I know people might kill me for this. if this Knicks team, say we get Donovan, you have to start putting some respect on Tom Thibodeau's resume. If he gets this team to sniff top 11, 12 again like he did last year, it was 11 last year in terms of defense, with guys missing, whatnot, if he does that with the Donovan Mitchell with 2-6-1 point guards, I got to start putting his name out there as possibly maybe top 15. I don't know if it's top 10. Best defensive coaches of all time. I'm just saying. I'm just putting out there, bro, because he works his magic. Back in the day with Chicago, was icing a pick. Now he's help the helper. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got to put some respect. But I do agree that, look, the 6'1 guards hurt us. If we had legit big, a legit defensive big that can hedge on screens, double off of screens, like if you mix Jericho Sims with like into Mitch's body and had his like stoutness, so then I feel more comfortable. But I don't trust Randle on defense. RJ is gonna get strained to the max. Like there's just no, like, you are at a disadvantage, time in, time out, right? I agree with you there, but if he can make it somehow work, Tom Thibodeau, like Darley said, man, sometimes you got to pull the trigger on that star player, because it's not just necessarily about the player on the court. It's about also, can that guy, a Donovan Mitchell, who would be, not say he's a superstar on the court, but in terms of his popularity in New York, other guys might look at it and say, yo, I want to be a part of that. Then maybe you trade a Randle, or maybe you trade blah blah to, get that next star. That's how I'm thinking of it. His star power would open up. It would give legitimacy to the CAA mafia, and people might legitimately come to the Knicks, kiss the ring, and want to play in New York because they can play with Donovan and Brunson. So it's tough.
I agree with you. I just don't think that the Knicks keep Brunson in. I think there's going to be a point in time where you're going to have to trade Brunson. You just cannot survive in this league with 2 6-foot guards. It's impossible, especially in the East. It's not going to happen. At some point in time, you're either going to have to bring Brunson off the bench, which is going to be a lot of money on the bench, or you're going to have to trade him. And, if you're willing to do that to get Donovan Mitchell, then fine. I'm all for that. I wasn't a big Jalen Brunson fan anyway, so I'm all for it. But those two in the backcourt would be a horror show. You think it was bad last year? But
you know what?
Everybody would be in foul trouble. All your front court players would be in foul trouble every game.
I'm just scared of the strain that it will put on, like obviously they have. I'm just scared of the strain it will put on smaller guards. I just don't. Maybe Donovan is fine, but Brunson out there is just, I don't like strain on smaller guards. Let me ask this before I let you go, bro. Who do you think blinks first, Danny Ainge or Leon Rose?
Danny Ainge.
Wow.
Because he really knows that he needs to trade Donovan Mitchell. That was all a smokescreen. There's no once you trade Rudy Gobert, there's no reason to keep Donovan Mitchell. No reason. There's nobody that you can get to pair with Donovan Mitchell where they're going to make the playoffs in the West after you trade Rudy Gobert. So, no, they know that they got to trade him. Now, could they trade him to another team? Yeah. They could trade him to another team, but the Knicks have so many picks that it would be hard for Danny Ainge to get off there. Like I said, if it was another GM, I'd be a little worried, but Danny Ainge is strange. And he loves, for some reason, he loves hoarding picks and not doing anything with them. So take advantage of it.
All right. Thank you, Anthony. That was a great call, man. Definitely.
I got a question.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
Salute, bro. Peace, man. That was a good call, man. Go ahead, Isaiah.
Oh, no, Ron, you can go.
Yeah. The other question I had is, like, how long do you actually wait to make this trade, though? Because if Donovan Mitchell takes a group of players that folks don't think should be on the floor to a playoff seed, does that impact the price as well?
Well, here's the thing, all right. I think I answer that. I think for where I think the Knicks have the leverage at is that you can wait, because clearly, like the teams like San Antonio and Utah, they're trying to tank for that kid in France. That's what they want. They want that kid. You can play the wait. You got to play the waiting, because Donovan wants to leave. You clearly know if you guys start losing, Donovan's going to be more chirpy about it, and then that's going to put more pressure on Danny Ainge, you know, to be like, we got to get this guy out of here, because at the end of the day, I feel like, especially too, if the Knicks start winning, that'd be even more pressure. For like, we don't need Donovan. We're winning right now.
I mean, even if they start winning, right, that doesn't mean we're actually a contender, right?
But Darcy, though, but you got to play the poker face though.
You're
winning, but this is when you play. This is when you play the
ball. My bad, bro.
No, I understand. No, I get it. No, but this is when you play your poker face though, where we don't need them. We're winning. We have a good record. We're a top 6 team in the East.
We need to win a championship, bro. That's the ultimate goal.
I'm saying poker face though, bro. I'm saying poker face. This is when you make them flinch. You got to make them. You
got to make sure that what Isaiah is saying, just to add on to it. And Jean Baptiste, I got you in 2 seconds. You got to see who all the contenders are. Like, I don't want to put a doing. Like, you got to see who are all the competitors for this guy. What does the market look like? Exactly. You got to see everybody come out the bushes and say, hey, yeah, we are interested in Donovan Mitchell. And what do we have? And then, obviously, you still might pay more than them, but it might be less than if you just came in and aggressively say, yeah, we want Donovan Mitchell. Because you obviously have you just tell them, hey, so you got to wait it out. Now, if Donovan Mitchell gets those guys to the players, obviously the price goes up. But Donovan Mitchell, on the flip side, is a calculated risk. He could also, or it's better for us, he could also flop. Or next year they could flop, and it's like, you know what, this ain't working, and his price drops even further. But I'm not, until I see everybody and all their hand or all their cards or whatever, I'm not pulling this thing where we just throw everything at Danny Ainge just to get Donovan Mitchell. Because it's not as if, again, Donovan Mitchell's not getting us to the championship. He gets us closer to where we are now, but we ain't getting, mid-2010s LeBron or so. Like, it's not that type of trade, so I'm waiting.
I mean, I get it, but if you can still have assets left to bring in somebody else or reinforcements, assuming the Knicks, let's say, because we don't know what this team will look like. We're making assumptions about how good they would be. The team could overperform more than what we think they would and actually be a team that goes further. We don't know. Jalen Brunson could evolve in this game. Randall could look better next to them too. We don't know. We're all making assumptions based on the current state of where the Knicks are. So I think, to me, realistically, we can't put a cap on how good that team can be. I think they can be better than what Knicks fans are envisioning. We're envisioning the second round. I'm envisioning, if something goes left in the East, injuries, slightly anything, I'm picturing
Darcy. Darcy, my bad. I was talking about the Jazz. I'm talking about if the season progresses and the Jazz, they can either do really good with Donovan, to what Ron was saying, or they could do really bad. As in, like, where it's Donovan.
The All-Star game is in Utah. So to me, the longer we wait, the more they're going to be prone to keep him, because y'all get closer to All-Star weekend. We need Donovan here now.
No, but they suck. I think they're going to suck. The Jazz?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I looked at their lineup. I don't think they're going to.
Are you sure? Whoa. They have Donovan and Clarkson. They don't have no one else. Who Bojan Bogdanovic?
It would be surprising if they're successful, but they on the path.
They got Malik Beasley coming off the bench, so that's bench scoring right there.
Malik Beasley is okay. That's not doing it in the West. That's not doing.
No, but I'm saying, all right, they have picks, bro. Let's not act like they didn't.
No. I'm just talking about on the court. I'm not talking about for the future in terms of players they could draft. I'm just talking about on the court.
Yo, I'm talking about they can make moves now, bro. They have picks. They can move picks to go and bring in more talent around Mitchell. They don't have.
But that's not what they're trying to do, though.
You don't know that, bro.
They want to reset.
I don't
put like this. If they were trying to build around Donovan Mitchell, I would have thought that they would have brought in Johnny Bryant to appease him, to say, hey, we still want to build around you, and they didn't. I know it seems like a small move, but in the NBA, what does every team do for the so-called star player? They bring in their best friends to come and coach, or they bring in the puppet coach. They do little things to appease them. And the fact they have not gotten another star yet. They haven't gotten another, and there's been no talks of them trying to even get another star to come play for Donovan Mitchell. They traded away two of his good friends, Eric Pascal, or got rid of him, and Royce O'Neal. Like, and not saying Royce O'Neal's a game changer,
though, bro. That doesn't mean that they're not willing.
Nah.
This is the first time. When was the last time you seen a star?
He's on a contract, bro.
Bro.
At the end of the day, the ball is not in his court. He has no leverage. He has no say in the move that they
I
want.
understand,
Darcy,
but
Darcy,
every team that you've seen similar situations from, they always did things to so-called appease the player, get guys around him, get their
And he's not like that though, bro. When has he ever been like that? Even
he was trying to do it with the Celtics. He was trying to get AD. He couldn't get AD.
Danny made aggressive moves. They all make aggressive moves, bro. It's business, bro. At the end of the day,
but what we're trying to say is that Danny didn't do anything to not appease Jaylen Brown and Tatum. He didn't do anything to not get players around him.
Mitchell, bro.
Hold on, what you're failing to recognize is that there's only about 3 teams that don't appease to their players. It's the Miami Heat, the Toronto Raptors, and the Spurs. Those are the only 3 teams that don't appease to the players. Those are more team oriented. That we're sticking with our coaches, we're sticking with our GMs. You players deal with it.
And I think the Utah Jazz too. Now that they have Danny, needs to be included in that book, bro. He didn't draft Mitchell, bro. He has no reason to cater to him, bro. I don't think they hired him and said, "Hey, we want you to make sure you build around Donovan Mitchell." No, I think they said, "Hey, we want
Darcy,
you to build
you still got
whatever comes with that."
You still got to put butts in the seat, bro. Like in the seats, like it's not.
Oh, this is Utah.
Yes. So if you and Donovan Mitchell, when you talk to Utah Jazz fan, you know they have the only thing they have to hang their hat on. Donovan Mitchell. They only go into games for Donovan Mitchell.
My point, bro. I'm saying they don't have to trade him, bro. If they don't get what they want in a trade, they are not going to trade him, bro.
Right, Darcy. Real quick. Like I agree with you. They don't have to trade him.
No, they do.
They don't.
But as time progresses, they lose leverage. I think.
Thank you.
The timing of the Gobert trade and the timing of the Royce O'Neal trade and what they got in return for it, in addition for that time, says a lot about where they're probably going to go. Right? We don't know what they're going to do until they pull the trigger. But you did it not before free agency, right? But not before the beginning of free agency, so you could clear our cap space, and then pick up players to actually try to build around a Mitchell, right? They did it afterwards. And that timing says a lot in terms of what it is that they're going to be able to do in terms of fielding an actual team. If you're thinking to yourself, all right, well, they picked up picks, what can they use those picks for? In my mind, and I may be missing some things, are they making a run at Durant?
No.
No, I don't think.
I don't think so. Are they making a run at Kyrie?
No.
Then you run into the same problem that we're talking about having 2 guards that are little in an attempt to try to maintain a situation and keep one to win, right? All signs are pointing to the fact that they're looking to rebuild the situation. They want to pick up as many picks as possible. The question to your point is, when do they pull the trigger in terms of making that happen?
I don't think there's any pressure to do it until you get what you want out of that, bro. Like, this is my thing. We're dealing with Danny here, bro. You know look at the Celtics, bro. They could have, you know how many times there was rumors of them moving guys like Marcus Smart or whatever to build that. Bro, he did not pull a trigger on none of that. He felt zero pressure they had a trade exception. Boston had so many trade exceptions they didn't even use, bro. They will let a trade exception expire if it's not a move that's going to make their team better, bro. They are patient, bro. They are very patient.
Now, hold on, Dustin. Do you call that? Do you call that patience, or do you got teams not wanting to trade with Danny Ainge? Because at the end of the day, right, this is a two-way street about trading. You gotta have somebody participate. You can call people till your face turn blue, and they don't have to pick up the phone. And I'm not. Danny Ainge is like everybody know. You don't trade with Danny Ainge, you're gonna get fleeced.
Yeah, absolutely.
So why would I pick up the phone?
Not pressured, bro. We know he's not going to be pressured to move Donovan, bro. The man is he's not on the expiring contract. He's not going to be somebody that's going to be a free agent in the next 2 years. The ball is in his court, and he knows that. Hey,
but listen to what Ron just said. You're missing what Ron just said. That's important. By the way, Paris, thank you for the $5 super chat. I apologize for you got super chat, and thank you. Hold on, Darcy, and thank you, Rapsar, for the $5 super chat. I appreciate it. What Ron is trying to say is like, you made the Gobert trade, and they probably made the Gobert trade because that's probably the best offer, and they're like, screw it, we're gonna make this trade now. We're not even gonna wait. That shows you they're desperate for, because again, they have not gone out to get anyone else. They did not get equal return in terms of players on the court for Gobert. I'm not talking about draft. I'm just talking about players on the court now. So once you do that, you kind of showed your hand. You probably saw like, look, we probably not get this is the best value we're gonna get for Gobert. You make it now versus possibly him depreciating in the future. So that means they're ready to blow this up now. Now, obviously, if it happens that Donovan Mitchell somehow gets that team, where now you don't have the freaking all NBA defensive center to protect you. If he gets that team to the playoffs, obviously his value goes up. But the more and more you play, the more and more they lose. Not saying that Donovan Mitchell's value is going to go all the way down, but you're making it. Of course, my battery goes out. You're making it more and more known that we're looking to kind of shift away from Donovan Mitchell. The more time that goes on, the less leverage. And if less and less teams are interested, he has to lower that value down, bro. And because of his profile for what he did in the past, that's gonna hurt him too. So you have a lot of positive factors for the Knicks where he might have to lower his price. And please talk as I've changed the stupid battery. My freaking camera.
Let's say if the Knicks wait, right? Let's say the Knicks say, you know what, we gonna wait and try to bank on Donovan Mitchell's value potentially going down, right? Let's say Utah ends up being a subpar playoff team the way they're good enough to make the playoffs. You can see that. If by All-Star break, let's say this Knicks team is really good, but not good enough to really get over the hump, and you can bona fide tell Donovan Mitchell would help this team right now. It's coming close to the All-Star break. You have, again, no pressure to move Donovan Mitchell. You're a small market team. There's no pressure at all for you to move this player. The only player that gives you an optimistic hope in your future. You didn't draft a young guy that you can say, hey, we can move Donovan and still know we're going to be good. You don't have that. So you're not going to just be sitting there taking any trade offer, even if you're open to moving him. You are not obligated to do it. You have him on a contract. He's 25. He's not even in his prime yet, bro. You have all the leverage in your court to hold on to this man until you get the offer that you want. And I believe Danny Ainge is a guy who would do that. But
here's my thing though.
Just real quick. I just give me 2 seconds. Darcy, did you look at this Knicks team and say that this team is a win now team even with Brunson coming on?
What do you mean win now in terms of what?
As in because did you look at this team when we got Brunson?
I think a playoff team.
But did you see his team as like, yo, this team, like, this is it.
Hell.
So why, even if we overachieve, why do we have to overreact?
I don't, honestly,
I like that one.
To be honest with you, I don't think it's an overreact. The reality is
but the Bulls are now, okay, we make the playoffs. Donovan Mitchell getting traded mid-season to the Knicks. So, you're ripping literally the fiber that made you get to that point, right? So you're ripping that fiber. You're not going to win. You're not. It's not a. How can I put this? If the Knicks surprise, because again, like put like this, most teams who make that type of trade, in-season trade, whatever, you talking about guys. They have maybe 2 guys who are their main cogs, and then everybody else is kind of like ancillary parts, and maybe one role player overachieves here, blah blah. You trade those guys, but you keep your other 2, and you bring on that star to take you over the top. Then that's like, okay, you still had your core intact, but this Knicks team right now. We don't know who the hell that is, really. Outside of, say, Brunson, and we still don't even know how Brunson plays away from Luka.
Yeah.
If you have a bunch of guys, say, on your bench, say we have the best bench in the league, and it helps us get back to the players, something like that, some of those guys getting traded for a Donovan Mitchell, like, bro, you're not getting the same factors that got you to overachieve in the first place. So why would we sit there and blow it up just for... We actually even have more leverage then to...
Look, bro.
Hold on, Doug. Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
And I just want to chime in what Game was saying before, because my iPad about to die too, so I don't got that much time left. But I'll say this, though. To add to what you're saying, look, right? The Knicks have a lot of leverage. You made me think about it more, Gammo. Like you say, I think Ron said, if you take out Randall and Fournier, everybody here is 25 and below. We can wholeheartedly wait. And I personally think, this is me thinking, I think the Knicks are going to be a good team this year. I really do. I think we're going to have one of the best benches in the league. Personally, we're going to get the predictions later during that's another show though. But I think we're going to be one of the best benches in the league. Personally, I think this team has a chance to be really good. You can wholeheartedly be like, all our kids are 24. All our kids are 24 or younger. We don't need Donovan right now. We can wait. And then if the Utah Jazz are losing, which I'm be honest with you, they probably are, because the West is going to be crazy dumb. You got the Nuggets going to be fully healthy. You got the Warriors. You got the Phoenix Suns. You got the Memphis Grizzlies. You have You got the Lakers. Well, we'll see about that. You got the Clippers are going to be healthy. I just named off 7, 8 teams in the West
Pelicans.
that are good. The Pelicans. Zion's going to be fully healthy. That's 8 teams right there that are going to be better than the freaking whatever the names are. The Utah Jazz. And that's not even mentioning. That's not even mentioning that the Kings are looking to try to get into the playoffs. You got all these teams in the West. So again, there's a possibility that Jazz are going to be really bad next year. This is a big possibility.
I think one other thing too to take into consideration is past performance. While it doesn't guarantee what you're going to do in the future, it's like it's an indicator of what's going to come next. During the time when Ainge was running the Celtics, he moved off of all those 3 guys pretty quickly, right? Pierce, KG, Ray Allen made that move, and they assumed whatever they was going to get in those trades as soon as possible. The other thing too is the longer you hold on to a Donovan Mitchell, as talented as he is, like undeniable talent, you assume a great deal of risk. Shout out to whoever said this in the chat, but it's a reality. I can't remember who put this comment in the chat. You risk injury, right, for the asset that you're holding on to. You risk a poor record exposing some of the things that have been existing in Donovan's game to therefore, lessen his value. He's valuable, but like how much of what was going on did Gobert just clean up, right? You took away the security blanket and the insurance piece that's there. Mm-hmm. It's going to expose and put on display the things that he doesn't do as well, because when you're losing, that's all anybody talks about. Mm-hmm. What you can be doing better, as opposed to highlighting all the things that you do well.
No, I honestly agree. This is my whole thing, right? The reality is our young guys, right? They're on rookie contracts right now. As they continue to progress, they're going to be due for extensions, and you have to pay these guys. So Knicks fans in our head, we feel like we have a bunch of time to let these young guys grow and do this and do that. You got to keep paying these guys. Every season, somebody's due for some more money. You got Obi coming up. You got Quickly coming up. Bomb's going to be coming up. These guys are on small rookie contracts. You got to pay them. It's either you maximize your talent with them or you get aggressive and you trade them and bring in talent while you can. Because at the end of the day, Donovan Mitchell, his contract is small in comparison to what these star players are getting paid now. You got him locked up for 3-4 years. To me, I roll the dice on giving up 5 of my 11 first-round picks for an all-star player who, again, maybe he has not overachieved in the playoffs, but that's not to say he's not going to get better and go further. These players, they don't win championships until they do. They don't become star players until they do. Until you become that, players are going to knock you. People are going to question your game and everything in between. I wholeheartedly believe Donovan Mitchell will get better. I wholeheartedly believe playing on the Knicks will put a tougher battery in his back for him to improve and get better, especially playing next to somebody like RJ, if we can make that happen. Again, these players are due to get paid. I'd rather get players who are already on contracts because the cap keeps going up. You're going to have to pay these guys more than they're worth. You got role players getting paid $20 million a year now. Quickly and Grimes and all these guys, if they actually hit how Knicks fans act like they are, they're going to be commanding that kind of money. And they're undersized at that. The league is getting longer. To me, if I think about winning the championship, I have to make it through Giannis. I have to make it through the Heat. I have to make it through Philly. These are the teams I'm looking at and I'm comparing the Knicks size to. We need length. We need to keep RJ. We need to keep Cam. We need to keep guys who can help provide spacing, and we're going to have somebody like Jalen Brunson at the helm running the point for us for the next couple years. So again, I get what y'all are saying. I assess it. I agree with it. But when I look at this holistically and I think about it, we're going to have to pay these young guys, and I don't see them being somebody to really be here when we are ready to win a championship.
I would say it depends on your path to development too, right? Like not everybody is going to be here.
No, yeah,
right. We didn't keep Kevin Knox.
Yeah,
we paired him with an asset and picked up Cam. Like as much as folks want Cam to play, Cam may be the asset that goes in the next trade, right? And so we didn't draft night was largely about 2 things in my estimation. It was about is the guy that's going to move you to the next stage in the team's progression available in a Jaden Ivey. And the answer to that question was no. They weren't able to get it done. And so, am I going to pay a Duren a certain amount of money and have that on my cap hold Like they're being very, very mindful of how they manage their money. Like there's a reason why RJ isn't paid in my mind. Like a lot of people is like, is RJ gonna get his cash? Like I think they're managing their budget. So that way, whatever it is that they intend to do, you know, like they have the money to make it work, to make sure the cap holds work, that they're operating within that CBA, and Brock Aller is, you know, accounting for every cent. The way that every single one of these contracts lay out in terms of like the descending value each and every year. Like, yeah, the cap goes up, but our players get paid less as time progresses.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? Like, I think all those things become a factor. I think the question is, what is this team's path to development?
Right.
And it seems like they have a notion for how they want to do it. One, is Mitchell the guy that lets them take that next step? And two, does it align with the path that they're taking? Shout out to GI and some other folks in the chat. They gave Brunson an assurance, I would imagine, say, hey, come here and then you can be the dude that helps elevate this team because you want to do more.
Right.
And if you choose to like stray from your path because the next shiny thing is in front of you, and quite literally, I'm sure that Danny Ainge is trying to use this to bring up whatever it is he's able to get for a Donovan Mitchell. Again, love his talent. It's undeniable. But the question you got to ask yourself is in terms of building your own team and how you plan to allow it to play out, is this the move that you want to follow through with?
Hey, Ron, can I say just two things? I want to close it. You guys are killing it. But one to Darley. I don't know if you were here earlier. I agree with you. You're not on Twitter like I am. Don't go on Twitter like save your sanity.
No, I'm on Twitter every day, bro. I be in comments.
All right, I got to connect because I need to start putting you in some of these threads and chats where I said, yo, if IQ, Obi, Grimes, these guys, they come up, we have to start converting some of these high floor, may not have high ceiling type of players. If I could get a star, I'm getting that star. We as Knick fans, and this is why I tell Knick fans that, yo, I think we're some of the most knowledgeable fans, but we're delusional. Go and watch other games. Be around other fans. There's a difference between watching IQ have a nice run of games, scoring, facilitating, or Obi Toppin having some end-of-year games, and watching young stars in the league do this night in, night out. Where I could ask, hey, give me 75% of you tonight, and you still give me 32 points off of 46% shooting from the field. I could have a lazy night from, say, a Jordan Poole, and I'm not saying he's a superstar. He plays in a great system. Maybe that's not the best example. But even a Ja Morant, and obviously we can't trade for those guys, or a Ja Morant, but we have to start being realistic. I agree with you. I may not be paying the Obis and the Grimes, and these guys are replaced. That's why I said, would it be so much of a difference if we had Nashawn Highland over IQ? Right? Because I'm on Twitter where these guys are like, oh my gosh, IQ's untouchable. Obi's untouchable. And I heard the same crap about Knox and Frank. So we got to stop. And to Ron's point real quick, I think that part of the promise, Ron, was that they told Jalen, because Jalen, let's be honest, bro, he left a great situation. Mark Cuban wanted to go, and he said, yo, I'm paying you. I effed up. You wanted 55 for 4. We said, no, I'm paying you. I'm stupid. You want $22 million? And let's be honest, you guys to play with Luka. Say what you want. When you get to play with I ain't gonna call him. He ain't no superstar to me yet, but you get to play with an elite player that can make you sniff the finals. That stuff doesn't grow in trees. Brunson might go the whole rest of his life not even sniffing a conference final again in his life. God forbid, obviously, I would want him to, right? So I think it's part of the problem is to say, hey, we're going to get you that star. We ain't messing around here. You're not just going to come in and help build up the kids, and that'll be part of it, but we're going to make sure to try to get you a star. So that's how I look at it. Darcy, this is the first time I actually agree with, like, 50% of what you just said, more than 50% of what you said at the end, because I agree with you. I'm converting these guys into players. I don't disagree with you, and I don't want to trade RJ. I like Cam. I think Cam has come off the bench, but I'm putting out a video to say why this year at least, it might be better for Cam to come off the bench. And trust me, ain't no Caden on Cam. I love Cam's talent, but there are a lot of things we have to find out with Cam. But, yo, guys, I appreciate it. We've been here for about 2 hours and a half.
I just
go ahead.
Jump right back in real quick?
Of course. Go ahead, man.
I waited my turn, man. I was patient.
You were changing your kid's diaper. Stop. You don't even act like you were waiting.
I think you're really disrespecting Farron Hunt as a big wing.
Yo, this guy,
Uh,
Nick,
that's
this guy.
that's an inside joke. But no, seriously. Like the off season is not done. There is ability to have more than one team in this trade. If the Knicks, I will keep looking at the ancillary players that hadn't been signed. You have the center in for the Suns. You have Colin Sexton. You got players that are still out there that still need to be signed, still need investment. Mitchell Robinson is the third center on this team, or the first of three, right? But at the same time, like, doesn't Mitchell Robinson still put you in a Rudy Gobert type situation? Better hands, yes. Maybe slightly better offensively. Add some vertical spacing, but at the same time, is it that much different? Why would you bring Donovan here just to go through the same thing?
I mean, Mitchell Robinson is getting paid $15 million a year in comparison to Rudy Gobert, who's getting paid as a player who's good on both ends of the floor when he's not. He's only providing defense, and he should have never gotten the contract that he got in the first place. That's why Utah got lucky, because I would have never traded for Rudy Gobert with him playing like that. Bro, you're not good on offense. You might get an occasional putback, but you're just playing defense. I can get a young defensive center to come in man is maybe not as good as you, but also not at the price tag. So the Knicks aren't in the same situation. You got Mitchell Robinson locked in, a player who's still young and is going to get better, on $15 million a year for the next 4 years. You keep him.
All right, so that's very optimistic. I'm not that optimistic on his offense. So
no, he's $15 million a year. He doesn't have to score.
You would have more. You would have more offensive help on the Knicks over the Utah Jazz. So I
agree. But what I'm saying is, like, okay, my original point, or what I'm trying to get at, is, to me, Hartenstein is a better starter, or has the potential to be better than Mitch, especially around Donovan Mitchell and also RJ Barrett. Like, those two players need spacing. Mitch doesn't provide it. You need to space that floor, and then you need a power forward that could actually hit a goddamn three. So
isn't that your man Randall? Isn't that your man Randall? You're not.
I'm just saying, Randall can't hit a three, but those years may be gone. I'm just saying, like, you still need a better power forward than Randall, and also better center.
Without a point guard. We're talking about, all we know is the Knicks without a point guard. We do not know what the Knicks will look like with Jalen Brunson at the helm right now. So to
agreed.
Me,
I understand that.
Bro.
I understand that. I understand that, but you just assume that Cam Reddish is going to be a superstar.
Well, I didn't say a superstar. I said there's things that we cannot buy. Think about it. You know how hard it is to come by wings who can score and play defense and also has good length to help with deflections. Cam is 6'8", 7'1" wingspan, bro. And again, we haven't
said good. I don't see good in Cam, so that's the difference between you and I. I don't know
how you're not watching.
All right, guys. Look, I gotta close this.
That's not my point anyway. My point is more about, if you're gonna put Donovan Mitchell on this team, the power forward position has to be good on defense, good on offense, could hit a three. So to me, if you're gonna give up, say, 5-6 draft picks, I actually would want to get Jared Vanderbilt in there too, and that's where I'm trying to get to. And then also, too, Mitch may have to go in the trade along with Obi, along with some other guys, and it becomes a sign-in trade. Because, you can't just have these overlapping players that don't fit. You need wings, because, to your credit, you've been touting Jeremy Sohan. You've been touting Tari Eason. Those are the type of wings that you put around Donovan Mitchell.
Oh wait, no. Say, can you say that second name one more time, please?
All right, so Farron Hunt should be around Donovan Mitchell, right?
No, because Nick Nick is so sinister. It's disgusting.
How
This
am I
guy would hit
I'm
me up
just-
because Nick
Look,
works
when
late
you were
nights,
talking
right?
about Tari Eason,
Nick
it was
is a-
to
Nick
fit
is a-
around
no, no,
RJ.
Nick
I'm
is a
saying
psycho.
Donovan Mitchell.
Nick is a psycho. Nick. First of all, I wake up to Nick comments on Twitter and because he works late nights. This guy would hit me up. Yo, what do you guys see so good in Terry Eason? Like, I don't really see
I
it.
still think he's trash. But I'm saying he's the type of player you would put around him. He's not my kind of player. Same thing with Cam. Not my kind of player. Punt, kick, get out the freaking door. Can't hit a three. Get out. You don't need to be here. I need guys that can hit threes and space the floor for both RJ because everybody loves and worships at the feet of RJ. Same thing with Donovan Mitchell. You need spacing. Even though Donovan is actually a good three-point shooter. So with the idea of having Brunson, RJ, and also Donovan Mitchell, if that is the team that you're trying to build, you got to push every button that you could push to get Jared Vanderbilt in this building too. Because like we're not drafting another guy. Like you need someone to replace the power forward position. Huh?
You're talking like Jared Vanderbilt is a star around this league. What's so
I never
special
said
about it?
star. Did I say star in
No,
Tari
I said you talking
Eason? Did I
about
say
like
star
he is.
in Jeremy Sohan? Did I say star in Isaiah Hartenstein?
not.
I never said star.
He said
I
roster
you need
construction.
players that could play a goddamn
hold on.
position and hit a goddamn
You said
three.
you need 'em in
That's
here.
what I said. That's what they need. You have stars
don't
in
need
Darcy and Donovan Mitchell. I never said stars in those players.
No,
You
I
need
know
role
you
players
didn't
that
say
can
they
do
were stars.
something.
I said you're talking about them like they're stars. I didn't say
I
you
never
they were
said
stars. I
that
know
they're
they're not
gonna be
stars.
stars. I never said that. That's not
No,
from
When
my
he talked
mouth.
about Jared Vanderbilt, he was.
I heard what you just said, but you need a role player that could play a goddamn role. I also
So why
said
would
that.
you
Didn't I-
say Mitchell
did I say that?
Robinson for Vanderbilt? I don't understand
Because
that.
he's a wing that could actually defend on the
You want to
perimeter.
change your defensive big who you're going to need against players like Giannis and
And you
B.
So
have
you weren't
Sims.
listening. He's saying that guys like he
And you
would
have
rather.
Hartenstein, and you
Right,
can
right.
space those guys out.
He has not played in a Knicks uniform yet.
Okay, and has Donovan Mitchell? Has Donovan Mitchell playing in this?
You
on
know
this
what
team?
you're getting with Mitch at $15 million a year. His contract becomes more valuable.
And Hartenstein's at 8. Sims is at 3. What is the
How many players
difference?
are going to be making $15 million in 3 years, bro? How many players are going to be getting paid that and still be an integral part of the rotation? It's
It
not.
sounds like y'all just got different takes on exactly how it is that you
We
build.
do,
So-
but
so
I mean,
can I
like,
just
I
say-
understand what
can I
Darcy's
just say-
saying. It's just not
Nick
accepting
is
what I'm
talking about
saying.
roster construction.
Can I
And
just
his
summarize
path,
what
like I was
Nick is
saying
trying
earlier,
to say?
his path to roster construction doesn't involve get a star, figure it out. Right? I think the Nets went through that. Get a couple of stars, and because the talent is overwhelming, it'll get figured out. It didn't work out. And sometimes it does. Like the Lakers did that, didn't work out. The Lakers tried that way back when with Gary Payton and Karl Malone and all these other folks. Didn't work out. I mean, it can, but I think in terms of a balanced roster, that becomes a key. And that's a conversation we've been having from jump. Do you put a guy like Donovan Mitchell in the backcourt with Jalen Brunson, you know, and in the attempt to win, to try to get about a winning team? Now, does that winning team come because you got stars and you can transform and trade in one star for the next level? Or do you just try to make sure you have a balanced roster that takes a step one way at a time? I mean, y'all just have two different conceptions of how to build it up from what I'm hearing.
I think
And both ways can win. You can win both ways.
Both could. There's definitely that possibility. But the idea, literally, I'm just saying there needs to be a Tayshaun Prince type wing on this team that could defend multiple positions, could hit a three. That's it.
I'm banking
Because
on-
you have 2 or 3 ball handlers that could actually take over games, possibly. If you want to throw RJ in there, that makes it 3, right? Brunson can hold his own with the ball in his hand. Same thing with RJ at times. Same thing with Donovan Mitchell. We know that. So you don't need 2 more players to try to keep the ball. That's why Randall does not fit in that scenario. That's why like Mitchell Robinson, he takes up space. Like there's actual stats that players did not want to drive to the basket with Mitchell Robinson in the game because his defender stayed under the basket.
Bro, are you kidding me, bro? Are you kidding me? You gotta be kidding me, bro.
Am I lying?
Mitchell Robinson is clogging the paint. Who's he clogging the paint against, bro? Who is he clogging the paint that would complain about Mitch? We've never seen a player run into Mitch because Mitch was in the way, bro.
No one said run into Mitch. It's defenders in the paint.
If Mitch is not setting screens, that he definitely does clog. If he's not setting high up,
Darcy knows basketball better. That's called.
Well,
I don't know what I'm talking about.
No, I will say this. Some of that is. I don't want to put that totally on Mitch because when you look at like, shoot, Rudy Gobert holds the same exact area on the court. And Donovan Mitchell has been finding a way to be successful.
Exactly.
Right?
So the game to be able to score on every side of the damn court.
Yeah, but also look at what the rest of they have on that team. They play a lot of 5 out on that team, bro. Like if you watch the Jazz, it's typically, if it's not a pick and roll with Gobert, you have Bojan, you have Royce O'Neal, all those guys are all out on the outside, on the perimeter.
Agreed.
Right?
There's a lot of side.
And that's why Nick also said he talked about Randall. Now, Jared Vanderbilt's not a good 3-point shooter, but he was mixing that and say he wanted guys who run a specific role. Because I think what Nick would like to also do is probably play a little bit more small. Right? If you haven't, say, a guy like Jared, or, you mentioned Tariq Eason and Sohan, those guys you can have a lineup where those guys kind of play at that 4-ish, sometimes even sneaking, say, defend at the 5 or whatever, play small. So, again, like Ron said, I just think it's a difference of roster construction. Darcy's really high on Mitch. Nick really isn't. And they both have their merits. And he likes Hartenstein. Hartenstein, for his minutes, a little foul prone, but if you look at Hartenstein, he's a guy that you look around, if you read the freaking fans comment section stuff, everybody says, why the hell are we getting rid of this guy? He's solid, he probably deserves one minutes, blah blah. He could, I wouldn't say space the floor, but he could pass from the pinch post. He could do a lot more than what Mitch can do. When you think about Hartenstein, kind of think of it offensively in the sense of what Joakim Noah did, right? And Joakim Noah was not a good shooter, but his positioning and his ability to set screens, pass, it definitely helps space out the floor. And it would definitely do it more than, say, Mitch, Mitch's spacing really comes from when he sets the high screen, rolls to the basket. But if he's sitting down there in the dumps or in the paint, like, what is he? He kind of doesn't offer.
I think he does nothing.
I think they both offer value. And I think it allows you, like, in terms of a whole team concept, right? Like, it forces the defense to have to make an adjustment, right? Yes. And so sometimes we can look at Mitch and look at Hartenstein and say, this guy is better than this guy. When in reality, when you're talking about game planning and like putting together a scheme for a team, the question is, what is your go-to and what is your counter, right? Hartenstein offers a solid counter to what Mitch is able to do. And not to say that Mitch's game isn't without, areas of improvement, because it certainly is. We're clamoring for it because we've seen Jericho go off in summer league and do some things that we've been hoping that Mitch would do for a long time. But there's still value in terms of what it is that he offers. And my thing is, with a Brunson, the question becomes, can you get more of what it is that we would like to see from Mitch? Not like in terms of a footwork and execute scoring, but just capitalizing off of his skill set a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, Mitch. One of Mitch's biggest complaints was he didn't have a point guard, and 2, I think Knicks fans really don't realize how talented Mitch is. People keep limiting him to being a second-round pick. This man was a projected top 10 pick. He did not play in college, and that is why he fell to the second round. This dude is no scrub, bro. So when I hear people talk about Mitch, it really throws me off. Again, we saw that one play last year where he put the ball on the floor, euroed a little bit, and slammed that bad boy home. To me,
one play, but again, Nick is not even saying Mitch is a bad
player. I'm not saying he is. I'm just talking about Mitch. I'm not arguing against anyone or anyone's point. I'm just speaking.
Yeah, but again, right. But overall, I think what some people's concern is not that Mitch is a bad player. You're trying to get complimentary play. That's it. You're just trying to get complimentary play, and always what some people may say is that, hey, Mitch may. We could expand a little bit on that in the center role. And look, I think Mitch going to play 25 minutes a night. Hartenstein played 18 minutes a night last year, right? You could mix and match rotations, whatever. Like, I think that again, what the Knicks are trying to do with the Hartenstein thing is kind of add more skill at a little bit more ability at the center position. And again, it's something that Tom Thibodeau, he needs. He works best with talented bigs. Joakim Noah, even, I know they didn't have the greatest of relationships, but even Cat. You know what I mean? Mitch, as much as we like, Mitch has overachieved at his position, he still is largely a rim running, rolling, diving big. I give Mitch his flowers. He's one of the best rebounding bigs in the league. Contested rebounds, box outs. Go look it up. He's one of the top in the league. He has natural ability to be that impactful player. But we got to be serious about it. When you talk about the rest of the league, this guy's put on deodorant. What the hell? When you talk about the rest of the league, you know what I mean? Like, Mitchell Robinson's a little, I would say he's antiquated, but he's limited in his ability. That's all niggas saying. What are the complimentary guys that we should start thinking about if we bring Donovan Mitchell? That's it. Just so you don't run into the same issues in Utah. Even though I think it's different in Utah because Mitchell Robinson and Gorbert, all your capping tied to Mitchell.
You got to fire Thibs then. Because Thibs doesn't know how to make sure that all the players in his rotation gets touches. So to me, at the end of the day, it's up to Jalen Brunson to be able to figure out how to space the floor and get the ball in everyone's hand because Thibs' offense isn't generated towards that. At least from what I saw.
Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that?
I'm not even going to go into that one.
Well, are you sure about that? Because you know what's funny? You know what's funny about Tibbs?
We disagreed on that. You and I disagreed on that, but I still feel his offense is out. Like, even I'm looking at the summer league team, I can tell I'm looking at these players in his offense. I'm like, this looks good, but that's Dice Yoshimoto having these players.
He gets that from Tom Thibodeau. Tom Thibodeau was there all 3 games.
I'm aware, bro. He's on Tom Thibodeau coaching.
Yoshimoto is literally an acolyte of Tom Thibodeau. You know who actually
he's doing.
Bro.
What Thibs didn't do.
Bro, you can't. Hold on. Again, I'm begging you guys. Darcy, I'm begging you in the name of all that is good. Go back to what Tom Thibodeau was running against the Wizards in the preseason last year. That was night and day from what we could run in the regular season.
What happened, bro?
We have guys who literally can't screen. Guys who are in the wrong spots in a triangle, guys who just ask for the ball up top, and sort of you can't run all this
none of that falls on the coach.
if you don't have the players. Bro, you can't
You have to have the players to run plays, bro.
Yeah,
like, come
that's
on.
true.
Wait. So
That's
you
true.
have to have the players to run plays. The Knicks won 54 games with Alfred Payton at the point.
They won it with defense and Derrick Rose. Bro.
So our defense had nothing to do with that.
And Darcy. Okay, Darcy. Let me ask you this, Darcy. What was our defensive ranking?
Good offensively that year.
Thank you. What was our defensive ranking? What was our offensive ranking?
There's one point I wanted to make for the longest.
Go ahead.
Look at the best lineup offensively that we had last year. It was with Taj Gibson on the wings shooting threes. Catch and shoot numbers from the corners with Isaiah Hartenstein, who is right now the best three-point shooting big that we have on the team. It's just about optimizing and getting better. To me, Isaiah Hartenstein, because of his passing and shooting ability, catch and shoot specifically, is better than Taj. And that was the best offensive team that we could put on the court.
He barely had that many attempts to say that. He can knock it down. But
He didn't have a lot of He didn't have a lot of 3-point shots.
Closer towards the end.
But Darcy. Again, he didn't have a lot of 3-point attempts, but you look at his catch and shoot numbers. It's a small sample size, but they're actually good. Just like you like to look at Cam and potential, you got to look at Hartenstein and potential. He's probably going to get more attempts and more looks.
Him, bro. I like him. I'm not
right. That's all that Nick is saying. It's not that again. Nick is not saying.
I'm not arguing against him.
All right, this guy.
I'm fine with agreeing and disagree. We have different philosophies. I don't disagree with what he's saying. Hartenstein, he gets space the floor. I think he's going to be great for the second unit. A big that can play defense, but a big that can also help move the ball and pass and facilitate and give us some versatility on offense. I completely understand that. My issue comes in when people start trying to get rid of my boy Mitch. I love Mitch, bro. I love Mitch. Once you start talking about Mitch, I don't care about
Darcy, and I'm gonna end it on this. Darcy, next year, right? If we don't get Donovan Mitchell, right, and we get a chance to get Khalil Ware, You'll change that all up, bro. All that Mitchell Robinson I love. Because I don't think Mitchell Robinson's going to be here for 4 years, bro. It's a movable contract. He does serve a purpose. But I don't see him here for 4 years. Especially because you got Simpson on a non-guarantee or half non-guarantee, half guarantee for, half a contract. And then you brought Isaiah Hartenstein. And you brought in Isaiah Hartenstein. You didn't say Jeremy Sims. You got the center. You got Isaiah Hartenstein. I'm telling you, I don't feel it in my blood. And again, Mitchell Robinson probably tried to play the market. It didn't form like he wanted it to. Got the $15 million, whatever. It's in my gut. I don't see Mitchell Robinson here for all 4 years.
Hartenstein's on a 2-year deal. You're
not listening to what I'm saying. I'm saying expect the Knicks. I think the Knicks are gonna look to upgrade that center position as the years progress. I'm not saying this season. But next year, outside of Wembayama, you do have some bigs that offer you a lot more than what Mitch could do. And I'm not saying we tank whatever, but I don't think the Knicks is set up at the center position. I'm just.
We're not talking about nobody in the draft, bro. Because
let me reiterate this one point.
We're not supposed to be, but if Donovan Mitchell doesn't develop
Mitch and Hartenstein as a duo, as opposed to looking at them one versus the next, because it creates a narrative that one just ought not be, and then we just wind up propping players up in ways that they shouldn't be. When I look at Hartenstein, I love him.
No one is saying that.
I like what he offers in terms of a change of pace, but the narrative that now he's going to be spacing the floor out. Yes, he hit a handful of threes, but Gmo, we talked about this. Most of the threes he hit was in the fourth quarters in blowouts. In the last 3 to 4 seconds of a shot clock because somebody had to take a shot. In the corners, he's in single digits in the shortest three on the court. Now, do you say, all right, the potential is there to broaden an aspect of his game that can be improved? Absolutely. You already talked about the fact that, like, yes, the foul. There may be a reason why he didn't play as many minutes as one might want.
Right.
And that may be because of the fouling, and maybe you can develop him, right? Because Mitch had the same problem early in his year.
Yes, he did.
His career. But the question is, how can you use both of them, right? They're both on the roster at this point in time. And maybe at some point in time, we do move Mitch. But at this point in time, it's like, how do you maximize what it is that can be done? In terms of the mid-range game, he, from above the paint area, he's only taken 6 shots. Go online, he's 1 of 6 from that area.
Can I just say
it's
something?
It's not like he's not. I also don't want us to put undue pressure in terms of having an expectation for a guy.
Let me just say this. Hold on, Ron. Let me just say this real quick. Darcy, hold on. Darcy, let me help you. Let me say something real quick. I'm gonna shut up. Spacing is not just you shooting threes. If Hartenstein is literally able to drag, do handoffs, just the speed off of coming off a handoff, and if you have a point guard who can shoot the mid range, that big, first of all, is 3 seconds, whatever. But that big was trying to sag off of Hartenstein and kind of play them. He has to account, like, bro, there's so many ways to space the floor. If you have a big who can do, say, what Jakim Noah did. Right?
Agreed.
Forget shooting. And first of all, Tom Tibbs probably going to have him shoot. He shot, 47% off of like 0.3 attempts or whatever. If you gave me 35% off of 2 attempts a game, that's eons more than what Mitchell Robinson can do. So I understand. We haven't got to that. Tom Thibodeau will find ways to get him those outside looks, but you have to start thinking about spacing the floor from just shooting. Mitchell Robinson can't set screens properly. Right. Mitchell Robinson cannot do handoffs as his best passing attribute, right? We're also talking about off-ball movement by Hartenstein. By players off of Hartenstein. We're also talking about, again, like I said, having better on-ball scorers this season, with Brunson, right? Who can hit the mid-range. That alone, and the handoffs, the passing that Hartenstein can do with a Brunson, and hopefully RJ Barrett, and even Cam Reddish.
It's a different skill set. Agreed.
Yes, but I'm not saying that Mitchell Robinson and Hartenstein are necessary, but maybe Nick said, I'm not saying those guys. I think you have to think of it like who complements the roster or the rotations better at a specific time, game, whatever. But again, Hartenstein gives you a different aspect, and I think the Knicks are moving towards that. You need in the NBA, your bigs are basically becoming like your guards. You need guys who can handle the ball, who can shoot, who can space out. Everything is 5-out basketball. Everything is spread. You just saw those finals. Who the hell stayed in the freaking paint in the finals this season? Oh, this year, no one for the most part.
Robert Williams. Robert Williams
oh my gosh,
who
bro,
was necessary for the
He's a solid and who won?
Yeah.
And who won?
Bro, he wasn't the deciding factor. Defense.
He was
from Robert Williams wasn't the deciding factor in the series. Bro, they played against the Warriors. Come on now.
And you know the funniest thing. And the funniest thing is, what did the Celtics do all that series? Most of that series, they mostly played spread 4-out offense. If you want to call it that. Rob Williams didn't provide. He wasn't sitting there running the pick and roll all day with him.
Do that, bro.
He was
you need the ball in Tatum's hand. You need the ball in Jaylen Brown's.
Wait, my thing just froze. What the hell is going on?
Bro, this is my whole thing, right? We act like Mitchell Robinson has already hit his prime of what.
No one said that.
No one said that.
This man, I'm not saying you did, bro. I'm not saying anyone saying that. I said we act like Knicks fans as a whole. I'm saying that's all I'm saying.
You know what? Do you know a lot of Knicks fans love Mitchell Robinson?
Let me finish.
I'm sorry.
My whole thing is, this is what I see. This is what I envision. I envision Mitchell Robinson. He's only 24, 23. I envision him continuing to progress and learning more and getting better next to actually having a point guard who can direct him and get him in the right spots and help improve his game. So to me, I'm banking on Mitch improving and being somebody who, if needed, can space the floor in those same ways. You're going to be practicing with Isaiah Hartenstein. You can pick his brain and learn from him and work with him. These guys are going to work together as a tandem. To me, you have Mitchell Robinson, who you're going to need to make it down into the East. That's why the Knicks paid this man, and they paid him $15 million. That is table scraps, bro. For a player who may get better over the next 4 years, that is a contract that is so favorable. You're not going to justify trading him
they felt so. And Mitchell Robinson, he was so important that they gave Isaiah Hartenstein 2 years. $16 million. Again,
that's nothing, bro. That's $8 million. You're gonna have to pay Isaiah more after that contract.
Hear me out. You already had a backup pick in Sims. They are looking to add more skill at that center position. You know what Hartenstein is? He's a souped-up Taj Gibson. And you guys were freaking complaining. He is. Hold up. You literally look at Taj Gibson. What did Taj Gibson doing last year? That people complain about. Oh, he's shooting too many. He was making them, or at a decent clip.
Who said he shoot too many threes? Who said that?
There are a lot of Knicks fans who say, "Oh, why is he in the game? Sims should be in the game. Why is Taj in the game?" What? They wasn't that Taj played 15, 20 minutes. What did Tom Thibodeau have Taj do? And you know the funniest thing is, I said this during a summer league game, right? Here's the indictment on Mitchell Robinson. What's the free throw percentage that Sims shot last year? 41%, right? Why is it that Tom Thibodeau has Jericho Sims hop stepping, working in the post for a guy? Think about this. This is how they look at Mitchell Robinson. He's a necessity, but he ain't the end all be all. Remember, Tom Thibodeau said, "Yo, you need to work on your fundamentals before you even think about shooting." And paraphrasing, whatever, right? But you got Jericho Sims out there in the summer league working on things that you look at and say, wait, why is he having him do that? But Mitch Robinson don't get touches like that in the post in the paint.
Who said Thibs is having him do that, bro?
Because Yashimoto's having him work on it, my guy. Yashimoto. Tom Thibodeau's not going to have Yashimoto working with a young guy on something he's not going to do in the game.
Did Jericho play in the summer league last year?
Yes. And Jericho shot a 3 in the summer league. And Jericho was doing post-up moves.
Leeway as he did.
Jericho Sims shot
a 3 in summer league last year
and was working with the post-up. He was doing the
same thing. That's Yoshi.
Come on, that is Tibbs actually coached last year too. Do not say that, Darcy. Tibbs actually coached last year too. Tibbs actually came off the stands and coached last year. That is not true. That is not true.
Tom Thibodeau, bro. He is not the coach for this team.
Yeah, here's the thing.
You just don't like Tibbs. That's fine.
Well, I like Tibbs. He's the next
guy. Fellas. All these things are not binary, man. It ain't
my guy,
like Mitch is good and Hartenstein is bad. Hartenstein is good and Mitch is bad. Some of it is an indictment on Noel too. He couldn't be healthy. Like, how long do you stay on this contract? You got to get somebody in here that is gonna, offer you an opportunity to get execution, right? If you notice, Mitch's contract extends longer than Hartenstein's contract, and so does Jericho Sims' contract. It extends longer than Hartenstein's contract, right? So it's like, or Hartenstein. Hopefully, I'm saying his name properly. But either way it goes, like, there's layers to the whole situation, man. There's a lot of layers to it.
I actually think the power forward position is the most pivotal position along with center, but I don't know how we digress down to the center position the most because Randall lack
It's
of
about
defense
roster
is gonna
construction.
kill
Back to your
things.
initial point. Back to your initial point about roster construction.
Yeah, it really is. Like, but power forward could swing everything on defense.
That's very true.
Literally. Because
That's
RJ
true.
does at least gives you effort. Mitch is gonna give you effort, whether it's Mitch or not. Hartenstein, I believe he's gonna give you effort. Same thing with Sims. I think Jalen Brunson, even though he's not good, is gonna give you effort. Is Donovan Mitchell gonna give you the effort? He has the physical abilities to do so. He did it in college. Would he defend? If he dedicates himself, this comes back to my Cam argument. Would you dedicate yourself and do the defensive things? Because it doesn't matter who the coach is, you have to do that to get past these teams in the East. Hinton says it all the time. We are the toughest in the toughest division in basketball. The Brooklyn Nets, no matter what y'all say, are tough. Celtics made it to the finals.
Yep.
Not the Bulls, but
No,
Toronto
the Bulls too. You can
Raptors.
count the
Another year.
The East.
It's gonna be
East
tough.
division.
And then when you come out of division, Miami, the Bulls, the Bulls are healthier this year. They may trade Vucevic. You don't know, all kinds of stuff could happen. It's gonna be tough in the East. At best, we're looking at 7 or 8. At best.
I don't think
Who's
so.
gonna so we have to dedicate ourselves to defense, and that's gonna give us a chance every game. And optimizing offense is gonna help, but the defense is what's gonna swing every single game for us.
I applaud
Yeah, that's the
Knicks
identity of
fans.
this team. It's a defensive team first, and they're working on offense.
And by the way,
someone
someone said I'm a clown for saying Sims is not going to be that he's not going to play unless it doesn't matter. No one's saying that Sims is going to get major minutes. Nick Yak, you're a clown. I never said that. I'm saying that Yashimoto and Tibbs are not going to have you work on things in a summer league that you're not going to do once you get minutes. And it's not necessarily Sims is going to be posted up all the time. But here's the thing that Sims was doing that you don't necessarily even be in the post. He literally has a spin move off the dribble. That's in motion, right? Again, you're going to work on, and to Nick's point, who pointed this out last year, IQ for his improved facilitating, that came from a lot from the summer in the summer league, where you saw him making a concerted effort. He was averaging 1 in the summer league, 7-8 assists a game. So again, you guys think about things in a 2K level. Nick Yak, clown. No one's saying that Sims is going to sit there and get 20 minutes a night. We're talking about when he gets into the game, what are you going to do? Again, Yashimoto and they're practical coaches. They're not going to have you out there doing things you're not going to do in the regular game. So again, hold that comment. If you see Sims do one spin move during a regular season, off the dribble, even off the bench, you come back here and call me a clown again. Because a lot of you guys like to throw these little jabs and insults and you disappear when it comes true. No one says he's going to get 20 minutes a night. That never came out my freaking mouth. But I apologize. I got caught off guard. Nick Yak is an idiot. I do want to end the stream. I got to do some, actually have to do some work, a little bit of work, whatever. So I appreciate you guys. Any final thoughts? And by the way, Jean Baptiste, I'm sorry for missing your call, bro. I seen you. Please call back in. Anthony Collier, please call back in. But any last thoughts before we head out of here?
Yeah, my last thought is the Knicks are going to be better than what people think they are, and the X factor in that is going to be Jalen Brunson. The Knicks actually have a point guard. Knicks fans don't know what that feeling is like, at least not recently. So to me, I think we're going to be better than a lot of fans think we are. And I think Randall's going to have a bounce back season. I think RJ is going to be somebody who's going to continue to progress. I think Cam is going to have an outbreak. And like I said, I'm banking on this. I see it happening. I feel it.
Yeah, my final take is I know we came on to talk about Donovan Mitchell. I have questions about whether or not any dealings that happen with Donovan occur before you actually get that trade for Durant, if that trade actually takes place. And so be looking out for what exactly happens in that area to determine exactly what the price tag will be for us. Not the exact price tag, because Durant is older and he's a different type of player, but to see how the market plays out in terms of trades, to see how it evolves, because what we saw last was Gobert going for a haul that most people don't agree with. But let's see what happens over time and how that impacts the conversation about what is required to get a Mitchell. It doesn't make sense given, as Nick said, how we're trying to construct a roster for balance and like what it is that we'd have to give up in the war chest to make it happen.
If the Donovan Mitchell trade happens, it'll be very interesting to see who they give up and what they give up. It'll tell you a lot about why they got all these scouts going forward. It'll tell you a lot about what they think about these other drafts coming up. It'll tell you a lot about about the players that they signed. Yeah, when the trade happens, could tell you, hey, look, and also what we get back in it, because I don't feel like Donovan is going to come by himself. There may be a lot going on behind the scenes, and I really feel like it's going to be multiple teams involved. If it's just straight up, then that's nice, and we could predict everything. But the amount of teams involved is going to be very interesting. Just keep your ears to the ground and just keep listening, because there's going to be a lot of stuff going on. And by what we see in Summer League, by what we saw at the beginning of the season last year, if you look at Gmo's video, I'm going to give you all like some homework. Look at the offense we ran last year at the beginning of the season. Gmo has a video. Look at the offense. It's 4 out. We ran the Warriors offense. I think Tibbs wants to go further offensively. He changed everything within 10 days of the regular season. 10 days, because we did not have a point guard that could even turn the corner. I think that's going to be very instrumental coming up, because I know Tom Thibodeau is going to be here for the long haul and for the rest of his contract. Let's just see what happens.
I agree, man. Yeah, you say even 10 days. Just go back to what we were doing in that first Celtics game. Within a half, we just went right back to the Randall offense. We said, this ain't working. We went right back to the Randall offense. So, again, you don't have to like Tom Thibodeau. I'm just saying let's try to look at it a little bit more nuanced than he's not running this and that. You can't run this and that without – you talk about even just fundamentals. We don't have guys who could properly screen outside of Taj, who's no longer here, and Sims. Like, look at the NBA. You need guys who can set screens and create a separation advantage for your ball handler, especially if he's not blazing fast or whatever. Like, let's just look at this a little bit more nuanced. But this is a great discussion. I appreciate you guys. Even Nick Yak, I apologize. I didn't mean to call you that. It's just, when people send insults, it just kind of it triggers me, because I like respect. But Suitors and Jason, yes, I'm not saying that Sims cannot do. I'm just saying that that's not they're going to have you work on things in a summer league. Whatever. I'm not going to explain again. It is what it is. In the little time he gets maybe in the regular, you might see here and there. But again, you work on things in a summer league that they expect you to run during the regular season. Right? Very practical coaching, Yashimo and Tibbs. But guys, I appreciate you guys being here. I've been here for, I think, was it 2.5 or whatever hours. Everybody in the chat, God bless you. Wave Space, salute bro. Chris Chang, salute bro. He said, Gmo, you trying to work out? You trying to get brolic? Ask me, this guy trying to spin nice lines. Let's not do this. Let's not put it like you gonna spit some ether stuff to me. But guys, I appreciate you guys. Nick G, I appreciate you being here. Darcy, as always, man, you always. I need to have. Why is it Darcy and Mark are never on at the same time? Like that would be World War III, bro. But I got it. Mark was in the chat. Mark, please.
I remember Mark.
But he's not. Y'all don't be here at the same time. I need y'all here at the same. I gotta talk to Mark.
Honestly, bro, I haven't been on in months. Honestly, so
that is true. That is true. I got you, man.
I'm gonna jump back on for sure, bro. Whenever I see you doing live streams, for sure, bro.
I got you. I'm gonna try my best to get you and Mark here, and I'm gonna try to find something that y'all disagree on, and I'm gonna shut up and let y'all fight, because that would be absolute cage match, absolute extinction level event destruction. Ronald Miller, as always, the voice of reason. As they call now, you're the voice of reason in the chat. They give you the praise. You know what I'm saying? You are the calming voice. And Nick G, of course, man. I'm just happy that Nick G, he tried to do it in a really stealthy kind of really slick, but he said Tyree Eason was a good pickup. So I appreciate you guys. Guys, I'll see you guys later. Peace, salute, God bless. Look out for the video I'm gonna do on Grimes, Cam, and Fournier. But until then, peace through. God bless. Again, please go on Twitter. Go follow Halita McCullum, KCDA, as well as Aishan and said Shines KFTV. Follow Nick, nothing but Knicks. Follow all of them, man. They all good channels, all good platforms. God bless them all. Until then, guys, peace through. God bless. I'll see you guys later. We are out. Peace.